Aha! Welcome to the Tuesday show. My name's Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
Tonight we're going to talk about various and sundry topics. One of them is going to be up here at Dreamhack Austin. Then we're going to talk about a couple of spiels.
Yes, we're going to try something new this week, but we'll get to that when we get to that section.
You got it. Then we're also going to talk about a newly released game, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, and also about SF30th, which has now been out for about a week, and we just wanted to chat a little bit more about it.
Right.
Then next week, and kind of starting then the next following week, is E3. There's also other stuff going on, so we'll talk a little bit about E3 speculation, other things that are coming up this weekend and in the future.
Yep.
And then other stuff. So
before we get started, just want to mention, one, I can't hear out of this ear, so it's weird. Everything sounds mono right now.
Well, hopefully it's not mono.
Oh, yeah, that's fair enough. But also, apparently one of the paintings fell down. One of the pictures fell down, so I'll have to re-put that up. So sorry for the OCD imbalance.
I just don't think anybody would have noticed.
You don't think so? Yeah. You don't think so?
I don't.
I mean, there's a big old blank space above your head.
I'm telling you. We'll see. We'll see what they say. But in any case, let's talk about Dreamhack Austin at the start. That was a tournament that's happened over this past weekend in Austin, Texas. We didn't go this year. We were there in the past, right?
We were there before, yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, we were there in the past.
Yeah,
for sure,
okay.
For sure. It was a premiere one year.
Oh, that's right,
it was not a premiere this year.
Exactly.
It was a ranking event this year.
So we didn't go, but a lot of other people did, and it was a good tournament for Street Fighter. There was other stuff there, too.
God, most people say they didn't notice.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have. Anyways, 7th place at Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. As we mentioned, this was a ranking event.
Correct.
So a lot of players showed up for this. So 7th place was Fnatic Brick.
Brick came out.
From Europe, right? From Sweden?
I believe so.
Sweden? Okay. And 7th place was also Tempo Alex Myers with Cammy. 5th place was Echo Fox Punk with Karen and Cammy, just using Cammy once as a counter pick attempt against Toy, actually. And 5th place was Jan with Abigail. 4th place, GGEA Toy, as I mentioned, with M. Bison, doing really, really well with M. Bison. Formerly part of the GOL team, Gods of Louisiana team, but now signed with GGEA. 3rd place, one of the players who was highlighted a lot in the Red Bull Proving Grounds, Terrence, with Chun-Li, getting 3rd place. 2nd place, UIU Oil King.
Yeah.
In all of his shorts glory, and he's becoming a little bit more of a ham on camera now. Cool. I actually think that's kind of cool. With Rashid and Falk.
Yeah.
A lot of Falk, actually. And the 1st place, Echo Fox, Justin Wong with Manat. Yeah. And he didn't bust out any secondary characters. He had to catch a flight, and he wanted to get there as early as...
Dang, yeah, that's what he said. Impressive. Justin looked really strong in doing so, especially against Oil King, who's been doing so well lately.
Yeah.
Over the past, I think, 3 tournaments, he's made top 3 or top 4 each time. So that's a pretty good record. And, I mean, hats off to Oil King for that, but also hats off to Justin for taking it over him.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I just think it's really funny. Like, there was the one sequence where Alex Myers and Oil King were playing against each other, and Alex Myers went to his phone and started looking up notes, and Oil King was just like...
Yeah. Did you see today that Alex said that he actually had no idea that Oil King was doing that?
Really?
And he really did not notice.
That's awesome.
He wasn't trying to ignore it, he just actually didn't notice.
He just didn't notice. That's funny.
I think that's pretty cool, though. He's pretty absorbed in what he was doing, I guess.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's also cool just that... like I said, Oil King was even doing little Falca poses, and he was cheering and stuff. I don't know. It's funny how all the Asian players, the more they get exposed to the U.S., the more silly and the more kind of fun they start to have, and I think that's fantastic.
I think it's awesome.
So,
yeah. I'm really happy for Terrence getting 3rd place there. I'd love to see him. I mean, he made top 8 at something else big this year. It's not the first one this year, so I'm happy to see that trend continues. He's very strong for sure. And same thing for Toy. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
Toy
doing
got
it with
4th
Chun-Li
place.
and Bison, by the way, which is really cool. Characters that they've been playing all along.
Right.
So character loyalty working out for them.
Really, really strong players. And you see, Punk is up there. Obviously, he's a strong player. Jan, occasionally, when he cares about Street Fighter, he makes top 8s. Basically how it goes. If he cares about Street Fighter again, then he's in top 8. It's basically how it is with whatever game he plays. That's what the top 8 is, but I just wanted to say, outside of that top 8 were players including Takeuchi, Idom, Ricky Ortiz, Tommy Two-Step, Wolf Crone, Shen Chang, Knuckle Dew got 17th place.
He got knocked into losers right away by an Alex player.
Yes, he did. Stupendous, also 17th. Chris G, also 17th. Snake Eyes, 17th. So there were lots of really strong players at this tournament. And I'm happy for folks like Terrence and Toy that they are the ones who ended up in the top 8 there. It's awesome.
Yeah, and with the Knuckle Dew situation, the story apparently was Twisted Riviera was the one who beat him with an Alex.
Right.
And afterwards...
Twisted Rivera.
Rivera, is it? Okay.
I believe so.
When you saw Twisted Rivera win, he was kind of popping off to Knuckle Dew. Apparently he was telling Knuckle Dew, now maybe you might want to consider buying Alex because he might not actually have Alex.
He doesn't have Alex.
No, apparently Knuckle Dew just never bought Alex, so he just hasn't bothered studying the character at all.
Genius. Genius. Yeah, Broly was up there. He was 13th. Again, there were lots of strong players at this tournament, so I think it's super cool that in the top 8 were players like Brick, Jan, Toy, Terrence, who are all strong, but maybe you don't think of them as being in the same conversation as some of the ones I mentioned. So they should be.
Toy did really, really well. He beat a lot of good players, and as I mentioned, he beat Punk.
Yeah.
Right, he was one of the players that took out Punk, and Punk really looked lost in that fight. Even I think he took him out 3-0. And then even switching to Cammy at the end, and I think it was Kazunoko or one of the Cammy players even said that they think Cammy loses the Bison, so it wasn't even necessarily a good switch. Let me see this here. Toy, 1-3 he beat Punk, 1-3. So, but yeah, I mean it's interesting, kind of the situation. Punk looks a little lost right now, but we'll get into a little bit of that, a little bit more later on in our attempted new segment here, so we're just going to try this out and see how this works.
Sure. So that was Street Fighter. There was also Dragon Ball FighterZ, which was well attended as well.
Yes, lots of strong players there. Lots and lots of strong players there. For example, in 7th place, we have Echo Fox to Kill Sage with Adult Gohan, Goku Black, and Android 16. 7th place was also KH Black with Vegeta, SSG, Blue Vegeta, Blue Goku, and Goku Black. 5th place was CANEC Greg. I actually haven't heard that name before.
Same.
With Cell Trunks and Vegeta. And 5th place was also NRG Super Noon, Kid Buu, Cell, Vegeta. 4th place, PG Nakiel with Kid Buu, Cell, Bardock. 3rd place, NRG Hook Gang God with Cell, Piccolo, and Vegeta. 2nd place, EGNY Chris G. I mean, at this point in time, it's no question he's the 2nd best U.S. player, probably, with Bardock, Trunks, and Vegeta. And fresh off of his combo breaker win, defeating Goichi, is, of course, 1st place, Echo Fox, Sonic Fox with Cell, Kid Buu, and Gotenks.
Sonic Fox and Goichi are definitely the 2 best. And then just after that,
Greg was the one using the piano controller.
Oh, I didn't see that at all.
Yeah, I saw a picture. Wow. Someone was actually just using a keyboard.
Sick.
And was playing on the keyboard.
Oh, I respect that. Okay. Makes sense to me.
That's cool.
It's like a hitbox, more or less, I guess. Especially if you're a piano player, maybe that just is an easy transition. Anyway, I feel like those are the 2 clear best, but then right after that, I feel like is basically Dogura and Chris G. I feel like there's 3 tiers, maybe 4 tiers of players in DBFZ. There's Sonic Fox and Goichi are definitely the 2 best.
Right.
And then I feel like just after that is Dogura, Chris G. And then there's a dozen top players, 15 top players, something like that. And then everybody else. So I feel like it's really become noticeable who is the strongest. That said, Chris G, it was close. It was 2 sets, 3-2, 3-2. I'm sorry, that was grand finals in which Sonic Fox eliminated Chris G. It was 3-2. So it wasn't like it was just a straight up blow up. Right. There were definitely some games in there where Chris was doing good stuff, but ultimately Sonic Fox took it.
Yeah, no surprise there. No surprise at all.
So it's really interesting to see how the game has changed, and it's not just I think that the developer has changed it. Obviously, that's a big part of it, but on top of that, the way that people play is different. I feel like neutral assists are starting to go by the wayside a little bit. You're starting to see more teams that are just Cell, Kid Buu, Gotenks, that kind of thing, where you don't even have a beam. You don't even have a Vegeta type assist because you're just confident in your ability to start mix-ups in the first place. I feel like that's becoming more common. And at the same time, you're not seeing, there's one Android 16 in here, and there's one Adult Gohan in here. They're played by the same guy.
Right.
Other than that, almost nobody at the highest level anymore plays Adult Gohan or Android 16.
Was Android 16 gone really now. That nerfed? I mean, it was just a hard knockdown on his
I don't even think that's
throw.
it. I mean, Of course, that's part of it.
Right.
Of course, that's part of it. But I feel like he was overrated.
You feel like he was going to get figured out anyway?
Yes. I mean, I still think that he's a pretty good character. Right? He's never going to be bad with his tool set. Yeah, I definitely think that he would have been figured out anyway, and people might have moved on anyway. I feel that same way to a degree about Otoko, but I feel like the nerf was maybe more
putting a hole
impactful
in
to
that
him.
so that
yeah,
you could deflect him was probably pretty significant.
That plus something, an assist like Vegeta also being nerfed.
Right.
So like not just the legs are nerfed, but the main way that he continued the pressure anyway was also nerfed.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah. So I think that's a good point. Being tall is negative in the game. Not having very damaging overhead low situations in the same way that some of the other characters can set up. I feel like that stuff hurts him.
Yeah, and some people in the chat are even talking about how Dragon Ball FighterZ is a very tier-heavy game.
For sure.
And I believe that too. But then there's those situations where like Team Goku somehow made top 8 at Combo Breaker. Remember, there's always those guys like kind of defying the odds still. So there's still.
I don't think that it's those are characters that you can make top 8 with.
Yeah.
Like right, like
Goku Black, right? Yeah.
Sure. You can definitely make top 8 with them. Can you win a big major with those characters?
Right.
That doesn't seem likely to me.
Okay.
Doesn't seem likely to me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it was Doza. That's what it was.
Dude, but Yamcha's.
He was Kazunoko's, right?
Yeah. First of all, I feel like he was probably a bit slept on. I don't think he's a great character, but I feel like he's better than people initially gave him credit for. And on top of that. Yeah, I don't think he's terrible, man. I think a character who always gets sliding knockdowns and can combo level 1 to level 3 is like just not. He can't be terrible.
Right.
I don't think he's great, obviously, but I don't think he's terrible, and he has a good assist. So I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think the assist is a little overrated too, just because you can't hit anybody with it. Like, if you try to do those air combos and knock them down into assist to continue combos, like it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's not for that.
Super hard to make that work for some strange reason. It doesn't have a lot of range, and I kind of agree with Takillo that Yamcha might actually be holding Kazunoko back at this point in time. So.
I mean, maybe, like I said, if he wants to continue the trend of just having a lockdown assist, like a Kid Buu or a Gotenks or something.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you need neutral assists in this game.
Yeah,
I don't.
Right.
So
and then of course there's always Hook Gang God who's trying to make Piccolo work so badly.
He's a really good player.
He probably would do better if he switched Piccolo out to somebody else.
I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Tekken, another game at Dreamhack Austin. A lot of strong players here showing up as well. 7th place, Sigma with Miguel and Bob. 7th place, also Yan with Miguel and Leo. 5th place, Byako with Kazumi. And Booty Thrill with Paul and Lee. 4th was Careless with Leo. 3rd place, NG Obscure with Elisa Noctis. 2nd place, Forwood. It's cool with Akuma.
Yeah, man.
Using Akuma in a different game.
Yeah, why
really
not?
Funny.
Yeah.
And 1st place, PG Speed Kicks with Huarong. Of course, Speed Kicks, one of the strongest players in the United States. So,
yeah.
But, shout outs to Forwood. I think it's funny. He's like, I'm tired of using Akuma in 5.
Yeah.
I'm going to go play him in Tekken instead.
Dude, definitely. He's a very talented player.
Yeah. Exactly.
But Piccolo's not that great. I know you like Piccolo. I know it. I gotta recognize, buddy.
Smash Brothers Melee, 7th place, Entropy, Luigi, Master with Luigi. 7th place, also Arc with Marth. 5th place, Magi with Falco, and Mike Hayes with Fox. 4th place, Liquid Chudat with the Ice Climbers. Yeah. 3rd place, Bananas with Ice Climbers as well. Okay, 2nd place, MSF La Luna with Marth, and 1st place, PG Plup, Sheik and Fox.
Okay.
Plup, of course, on the verge of really kind of breaking into that God's realm right there. Smash Brothers for Wii U. 7th place, Light the Lantern with Zero Samus. Korin. 7th place, Lima with Bayonetta. 5th place, Samsora with Peach, as well as KOL Bleg Konga with Donkey Kong. 4th place, PG MVD with Diddy Kong. 3rd place, IMT Razor and Tai with Mario, Zero Suit Samus, and Cloud. 2nd place, PG Esam Pikachu. 1st place, MSF Larry Lur with Fox.
Okay.
And they also had BlazBlue Central Fiction there. 4th place, Havoc Noah with... Well, actually, let me go through all, because there's some strong players here. Wow. 7th place, Bojack Azrael. 7th place, Shinku Rachel. 5th place, UIU Beautiful Dude with Relius. And 5th place, Kid Viper with Jin. 4th place, Havoc Noah with 9. 3rd place, Milk Kaicho with Rachel and Mai. Second place, Beta Dude with Ragnar in first place. PGSKD with Izayoi after getting second place at Combo Breaker.
All right.
Guilty Gear Rev 2, seventh place, Ryudo with Faust and Vogue Kun with Kum Hae-hyun. Fifth place, Titan FOFO with Venom and Havoc Noah with Ino. Fourth place, UIU Beautiful Dude with Zato 1. Third place, Kid Viper with Johnny. Second place, Faulty Defense with Answer. And first place, Hamad with Kai Kisk. And he is really setting himself up as one of, if not the strongest U.S. player. Remember, at Combo Breaker, he's the only one who made top 8 on winner's side, I believe.
From the U.S., yeah.
From the U.S. With Kai, and now he's taking Rev 2 here in Dreamhack Austin. Dreamhack has always been a strong Guilty Gear tournament because of players like Kid Viper and Hamad. You know, a lot of strong
Texas
players
has good,
in that
good
area.
gear players.
Exactly, so.
All right. And there were lots of entrants for Brawlhalla. It was a really popular game.
Oh,
there.
Nice. Okay. So Brawlhalla, I'll just do top forward. SSTP Wilson with Ragnar. Third place, CYC Boomy with Hattori. Second place, WC Wrenched with Asuri and Koji. First place, Born Kosolix with Sir Roland and Scarlet.
Wow, can you believe he had Scarlet on that team?
I know, right? That's crazy. Maybe.
Sorry.
Pokken, fourth place.
It looks like a fun game.
I mean, the cool thing about it is it is an alternate Smash game, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of the Smash fans are playing that game. And so I remember they had that tournament, too. It was like $100,000 in prizes or something. It was like $10,000. It was like some crazy amount. So there's definitely a big scene out there.
There is a big scene, yeah.
Fourth place in Pokken tournament was Kalon CPU 57 with Aegislash. Third place, Bolamar with Decidueye. Second place, BXA Twixie with Aegislash. And first place, TA Slipping Bug with Decidueye. So only 2 characters in the top 4. Yeah, I know. I know you haven't kept up with it as much, right? Sure. I know you enjoyed it and stuff.
It's a good game, but I haven't kept up with it, yeah.
Right, okay.
So that was Dreamhack Austin. It happened this past weekend. It seemed like a good tournament from the outside in general.
Right.
There was the issue. Are we going to talk about this in the little segment or what?
Yeah,
let's
talk about let's talk about all this stuff because there's a lot of
segments here.
Let's talk about so basically what we want to do, I don't have a name for this yet, but I was just watching TV recently and Pardon the Interruption on ESPN was on and they're talking about a lot of stuff and I saw a lot of people talking about Punk on Twitter as well, like what's wrong with him in the chat and everything like that. And then some people started calling him out and he said like, I don't want to play in CPT events anymore because I keep losing to things that aren't the game, that aren't players and all this stuff like that. And I saw these people talking about what happened to Punk, right? And so, that combined with just seeing the PTI stuff, like, I feel like I want to do stuff like that.
Let's argue.
It's not even just necessarily argue, but let's talk about like little things that are happening in the fighting game community where we can kind of express opinions and stuff like that. So maybe not even popular opinions and everything.
Yeah, let's get weird.
So fighting topics, but I don't know. We'll call it like something soon.
We'll come up with a name.
We'll have the chat try to come up with stuff. But let's talk about Punk.
We're known for coming up with names here on the Tuesday show.
Exactly, right?
It's like 6 years later.
But let's talk about this. What's wrong with Punk? What's happening to Punk? Like what?
Punk, who just made top 8 at a big major.
Right, but the thing about it is he used to always be that one guy who everybody was talking about. He got second place at EVO, and he was the favorite to win that tournament everything like that.
Favorite to win EVO and Capcom Cup.
And he did not do either. He did not even make top 8 at Capcom Cup. And since then, it feels like he's been struggling, right? So here at this tournament, he talked about, the concept of, the machine lagging on him, the buttons lagging on him because the machines, they had 24-hour venues, so he's feel like the PS4s aren't getting the rest and everything like that.
Yeah, which is a real phenomenon,
right,
by the way.
But do you feel like these are just excuses now? Like, do you feel Punk...
that's real.
Do you feel like Punk has... Okay, well, but so what is the deal with Punk now? Why do you feel like he's not the same threat that he was before?
To me, the bigger issue is that other people have started to do what Punk was so good at doing. He was ridiculous at whiff punishing and setting up situations where he knew that if the opponent pressed a button, that he had the exact one already lined up. He had all of these little sequences that put him at an exact spot. That's not like a brand new idea or anything, but he was doing that in a way that I thought was better than everybody else. So his whiff punishing game was better in part because of that. The second thing is that everybody, well, more people in any case, are hit confirming single hits now.
Right.
They're playing a more reactive game. I think people came into Street Fighter 4 wanting to play proactive style of footsies, which is kind of what prevailed in Street Fighter 4.
Right.
But that, I think in Season 2, when Punk was doing so well, I think he was one of the first players to realize that that's not as effective, and that he played a more reactive whiff punishing heavy game.
Right.
His whiff punishes were the best. Now I feel like a lot of the top players are doing that as well.
So, I mean, some people are saying that everybody else caught up.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm getting to. I feel like the biggest thing is that other people figured out what he was doing and they X-copied it, basically. And that now that Punk is sort of among a sea of people who are doing these very strong things, he doesn't have the same dominance. So, yeah, I think it's much more that everybody else caught up than that Punk fell down. But since everybody else has caught up, I feel like there is a tendency on Punk's side to feel less confident now. So that the fact that it wasn't his fault, it was everybody else catching up, now is kind of causing a thing in him where in his brain where he's, look, was he like 19? Like he basically started coming to offline events in like 2016. You know what I mean? Like he had been an online player for a while, but he basically came to offline events, and then a year later he was the best in the world. Right. That kind of rise is ridiculous and meteoric, and I feel like the fall from being the best in the world to just being one of the best is probably pretty tough. It's probably pretty mentally tough. Yeah. You know? That happened to me when I got second place at a spelling bee. No, I don't have anything. But I imagine it's tough. So that's my theory.
Yeah. I mean, I also feel like as part of it might also just be that Punk spared himself. I mean, some people have mentioned it in chat already. I feel like Punk spread himself a little thin. He started concentrating on Marvel. Remember, he did that first 100 with Yipes and stuff, and he's been actually winning tournaments in Marvel. But then also, you know, he's been practicing Dragon Ball Fighters a lot. He isn't focusing on one game. Like someone like Tokido, he hasn't fallen to the allure of anything. He's still I'm just Street Fighter. And this is like multi-game master Tokido, right? Not only that, but I also think it hurt him that Punk moved to Cammy just a little bit. Like he kind of shifted to another character.
Well, I mean, his character got nerfed a little bit. Right. He thought Cammy got buffed, so I understand why.
Yeah. So he tried with going to Cammy, but I just don't think it worked out for him as well. So I don't think the Cammy change helped him. So I felt like he kind of jumped around a little bit as well. So, you know, I think
he's not putting 100% of the brain power into one thing, is what you're saying.
Exactly. So if he kind of went back and focused on Street Fighter only, I think he would work out well. And yeah, I mean, I guess we're not arguing here. We're kind of agreeing.
I don't think that's probably how this is going to go, to be
honest.
But
exactly.
I do think that it's very difficult to play many games at a top level. There are really just a few people who can do that. And even if you look at people who are talking about Sonic Fox right now, well, Sonic Fox got third place in Injustice at Combo Breaker. That's right. He didn't win Skullgirls. Right. He got second place in MK9. That's a terrible weekend for Sonic Fox.
Right. Remember when Sonic Fox was trying to learn Marvel super badly, he didn't win.
He didn't win E-League.
Yeah, he didn't win E-League. So there you
go. So even those games, right? It's not just Street Fighter, which is the most competitive game in the world for sure when it comes to fighting games, but other games too. Even somebody as talented as Sonic Fox, I feel like there's a limit to how many games you can play. Maybe you can play a couple. Think about Goichi, right? He's the best Dragon Ball. He and Sonic Fox are the best Dragon Ball players in the world, but he hasn't had those Street Fighter results that he did in the past. Right. You know, it's hats off to Dogra for making top 8 at CB in both Street Fighter and Dragon Ball. That's super, super tough. So maybe there is something in the idea of he needs to quit spreading himself. So then,
okay. Some other people I saw were talking about this, and Javits was one who tweeted this out. He was like, "I notice when players get picked up by sponsors, they stop doing as well, right?" And DeKillSage joked was like, "At me," you know, and like Javits was like, "No, I'm not talking about you," but DeKillSage is like, "I just do that all the time, right?" But, but you know, do you feel like that's kind of a thing for Punk right now? Because there's two sides of this, right? There's people who believe that when you get sponsored, you're like, "I have the money now, so I get lazy." But then there's the other side that, hey, it's pressure time. Yeah, I think pressure time, right?
I think that is more likely among the two, but I don't really think either one carries much weight.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think? Okay, because I mean, I think there's a lot to it. You see this happen in professional sports all the time when the guy plays super hard because their contract kind of sucks.
That's what they say.
And then they get signed by this great team, and then all of a sudden their stats drop and they seem kind of comfortable. You don't think that this is a thing?
Like a little bit, maybe. I just don't think it doesn't seem likely to me that it's like a major driving factor for anything. Maybe like a marginal thing, but...
I mean...
this is not just me disagreeing to disagree. I just don't... Like when people... I feel like people want to sort of put additional factors into things a lot of the time. Like, the world is very complex, so I get you want to find multiple reasons why things happen. But when it comes to something like this, I feel it's very contrived. It's like saying this player is better than the other because they want it more. Everybody wants it. If you've made it to a high level, everybody wants it.
But money has a tendency to lazyify people sometimes, right? Like, if you're a player who's like, all of a sudden you're getting Echo Fox money.
Yeah,
like,
which is a lot of money.
Right, which the drive maybe to try to perform as strongly as before.
But they weren't performing for money. Right? Like, it wasn't about money.
You don't think you are, but when you get it, all of a sudden...
they weren't, for sure.
All of a sudden you get it, and then things kind of change a little bit, right?
I just don't think they changed
I don't think it's... Obviously, it depends on the person. For someone like Tokido, obviously, it hasn't affected him at all getting Echo Fox money. I feel like one of the times... remember when Justin got mad at us at Capcom Cup for talking about his record?
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder if that was just because it was, like, sounding bad to his sponsors or something like that. You know, he was worried about that kind of a thing, you know. Like, I feel like that there is an effect to that. And then also, you know, the pressure as well. I've heard players even talk about it when they get sponsored. They do feel that pressure all of a sudden to perform well for their sponsors.
Sure.
That is something I've definitely heard players talk about.
I think there's more behind that one than that they get lazy idea. I just don't think that either one is like a driving reason. It's like reason number 8 or whatever, rather than anything in the top 5.
Really? Okay. Because I actually think that there's, I mean, like I said, I've heard players literally say that they put extra pressure on themselves. And then I really do think that there's the opportunity that, you know, you can get. Because, I mean, I've seen players get sponsored and maybe get a little content, you know, or something, you know, especially if you're making decent money. But there's obviously those that defy that, but I'm not saying that Punk is getting content with it, or like he's sitting there going like, haha, because I mean, he cried at EVO, he obviously wants to win it, he's very upset that he didn't do well at DreamHack and everything, so I know he wants it and stuff like that, but there is this certain level of accidental comfort that you gain that comes with...
I just don't think that they were doing it for comfort at all. Like the driving factor was not comfort. It wasn't one of the top 5 for sure. Like it wasn't to win a lot of money.
Okay.
You don't get into fighting games if your idea is to win a lot of money. One person is going to win 100K at something. That's just not. It's not like the reason that you're playing. You have to put in 5 years of experience before that is even a thing.
Okay.
So I just.
Okay. All right.
It's true. Do drugs, hail Satan. It's true.
What's that?
Yeah.
I
don't think it'd be good.
No. Still disagree, but...
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, well, I mean, I wanted to talk about Justin using Manat, but let's talk about the other topic that I kind of want to talk about first, because it kind of has to do with Punk now that I think about it.
Okay.
You know, him going to Cammy and then it not succeeding, him going back to Karen, right? So one of the things that I really want to talk about is Cammy as strong and brain dead as everybody says she is, right? Because Punk, when he said that he wanted to switch away from Cammy to Karen, I messaged him and I was like, you know, I think that's the right choice. I think Karen is the better choice for you. And then he was like, yeah, Cammy's too brain dead. I can't turn off my brain enough to play her effectively.
I've heard that, yeah.
And stuff like that. But then when I talked to him in person, I was like, I really do think that the change is better for you. And his response, not on social media, was, yeah, actually aiming the dive kicks was way harder than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be easy, and I just don't want to take the time to learn that kind of stuff. Then on the ride to the Combo Breaker venue, I was talking to GamerB in the car, and I was asking him how's the Cammy's changes going along, and he's like, man, Cammy's really hard to use. Like, she's just not as easy as people say, that she takes a lot of effort and takes a lot of work. She's really not straightforward, etc., etc.
Okay.
And then even after Combo Breaker, was over, he tweeted out, he was like, Cammy is just a lot harder than, than people think she is to use, et cetera, like that. So what do you think?
What would you rate people's perceptions of her out of 10 in terms of difficulty? 10 being the most difficult.
Oh, like just general public perception?
Yeah. When you say less easy than people think that she is, what do you mean? Like how? Like is she perceived as how hard out of 10?
Yeah, autopilot-y, very easy, probably 1 or 2 out of 10.
You mean 9 or 10 out of 10?
In terms
most
of
difficult.
No, to use, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I think people perceive her as a 1 or a 2, as you pick Cammy, you win.
Okay, and then what do you think? What do you think the reality is?
The reality with Cammy, I think, is probably around like 5 or 6 or 7. Maybe 6 or 7, or actually 5 or 6. 5 or 6. Yeah.
So the difference in perception between the difference between the perception and the reality is going to be significant for sure, because for sure she's not 1 out of 10. No character in Street Fighter 5 is 1 out of 10.
But that's what everybody says, and so they feel like, it's time. Like,
I mean, obviously it's nonsense.
Like they see NuckleDo play, and they're like, oh, look, NuckleDo's winning, and like everyone's switching to Cammy now. Yeah. Now this is all free wins for everybody.
I mean, of course it's not. It's absurd. So she's not a 1. Nobody's a 2 either. Nobody is super simple to play. Is she more difficult than average? For sure not.
Okay.
Right? I mean, like is whatever the average difficulty is, which includes how strong a character is tier-wise, for sure she's not.
Right, okay.
Right?
Okay.
So you're talking about between like maybe 3 and 5, right? Is she 5 being your just average difficulty to play? Nobody's a 1, probably nobody's a 2. She's 3 to 5, right? It's not like the difference is between 1 and in reality is 10. Obviously, like nobody's 10 either.
Right, yeah.
Maybe Alex is 8, Fang is 8, right? Something like that. For sure, Cammy's not in the same conversation when it comes to that. So she might be a 4. I think that makes sense. I mean, of course, it's not easy to aim the dive kicks. Everything else about her is quite obvious, but the aiming of the dive kicks is difficult. That said, every character has a thing that's like that.
Right.
Like every character has a thing that's hard.
Right, and that's the thing is,
or 10 things that are hard.
I wouldn't rate anyone higher than Cammy. Like even if I put her at a 5 or a 6, I wouldn't rate any. I think every character is kind of hard to use. Like my average would be 7. I don't consider 5 the 7. You know what I mean? Like,
well, okay, I guess.
I mean, it's like grades, right? It's like grades. C is an average, I guess. And C is always 70. It's not 50, right? C is the curve.
Depends on what the curve is.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I would grade on a curve essentially. I just don't think Cammy is as straightforward.
Okay,
as
so fine. You lop off the bottom 3 entirely. So now you have 4 to 10, and she's a 5.
Maybe 5 or 6, yeah. I don't think she's as straightforward as people think that she is.
Well, what you're saying is that she's among the easiest characters to use in the game.
Oh, relative. I don't think
makes sense to me.
I don't think playing her equals free wins, though.
Of course not. I mean, no fighting game character ever is like that. You pick Ivan Ooze and it's not 1 out of 10, it's 2 out of 10 because you got to know what the moves are, right? Like there's nobody's free.
Right.
But beyond that, she's among the easiest characters to use in the game. But there is a point of difficulty. Aiming the dive kicks is not that easy.
I mean, it's not.
You have to be able to react well. Like there are things that are required of the character, but those things are required of most characters, and every other character has a thing that's like the hard stuff too.
Right, but I mean, even with just besides aiming dive kicks, it's like opening up opponents, right? Like everyone thinks it's very straightforward, that it's like just throw them a bunch of times, and just stuff like that, and then you try it and you find out like it's just not even remotely that simple with her, right? There's a lot more to it than that. So, I mean, I do think Cammy is the best character in the game. I still think she's the strongest character in the game. But I don't think that she is free wins. Like when I sit there and listen to GamerB talk about how he's like, man, she's really hard to use, and Punk's like, I didn't think she would be as difficult to aim with dive kicks as before, and he tried her against Toy, and even Kazunoko's like, oh well, Bison beats Cammy, right? A lot of people, including myself, don't think that Cammy really loses any matchup. Maybe to the point of like that dreaded 5.5, 4.5 scale. You know,
Wow.
that might be the worst that she has.
Okay.
But even at Combo Breaker, Cammy lost to every Karen that was on stream, right? And then there was seriously like 5 times that Cammy lost to Karen on stream. And then, you know, and then, like I said, with Punk, you know, he tried to switch to Cammy and it just didn't work at all against Toy. It basically did nothing.
Sure.
So, you know, you know, I know right now it's the funny joke and everybody likes to meme about it and talk about how Cammy is free and easy. And then what I think that's kind of sad is because it kind of discredits people like NL and how much work. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that NL and Verloren are the ones that are succeeding with her because they're the ones that have been playing her the whole time.
For sure, dude.
You know?
No, it's not easy to switch around, and no character is brain dead, but she is among the easiest characters in the game.
I don't even know if Falca beats up Cammy yet. I think that's just more people don't know anything about Falca yet.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even when, who was it? It was, Oil King picked... It was against Alex, actually. He picked Falca against Alex, and he beat Alex 2 games. And
against
then
Myers.
Alex came, against Myers. And then Myers came back and won 2, and then he had to switch to Rashid to finally beat him. So I don't even think that that's true. I don't even think Falca beats Cammy, to be honest with you. Like I said, I don't think she has any terrible matchups. The worst that she might have is Karen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But outside of that, I think everything's 5-5 or better for her.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't know if that necessarily means that she's easy to use. I just think that they just made her too strong. Like, she's just she just has every tool, right?
But, like, to master Cammy is not the same as, like, to master Menat, right? It's, like, obviously a different story.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly.
Yeah, for sure.
So she's among the best characters in the game, and even among the best characters in the game, probably the easiest.
Okay.
So, right?
Maybe.
I mean, think about it. Like Menat's up there. Akuma's hard to play. Only like 2 dudes have done really well with her.
Guile.
Yeah, Guile. Right. Yeah. So. All right. Well, I agree.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of Menat, you're talking about.
Yeah.
I remember I was talking about Justin on Twitter about how I love the pairing of the characters, right? And so I actually think that. Actually, to be honest with you, Tubo, I'm just like, I'm reading chat at the same time, so like having a hard time trying to concentrate on 2 topics at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but you know, Justin did really well with Menat, and I started arguing with people. Well, not arguing. I said on Twitter, I was like, "What's beautiful about the way that Justin uses Menat? Like, he's no Sako on V Trigger. In fact, at Combo Breaker, I called him pedestrian at best with the V Trigger, right? And but he's still winning, and to beat Oil King, that's not like an easy thing to do.
Not at all.
And so he was able to beat Oil King. And so my comment was like, you don't have like. One of the things that bothers me about players right now is how much they feel like they have to optimize everything, even from a beginner standpoint. And it's a dangerous mindset. I saw someone talking about ST, and they're like, how do I do reuse towards Heavy Punch, Fierce, and the Super? Yeah. And my response was, you don't. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Yeah.
Right? Like, you never need that. Right? Like, who cares? And they're like, but what about that one time? I was like, who cares? Right? And that's the problem. It's like now everybody, when they want to play Menat, they're like, I got to learn Sako Menat. And like when I play Menat, I'm like, I don't care about doing Sako Menat. I'm just going to do what I can do. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what Justin is doing, right? And so I feel like for Justin, it's a perfect match for him. I feel like the character is a perfect match, even though he doesn't optimize it. Yeah. And so I think that people need to learn to not have, like, I think that's kind of important. But then Sanford started talking to me. It was like, no, like, you have to optimize everything, and, you know, and you have to make sure you know how to use your character fully and all this stuff like that. And, you know, you have to make sure that you have all the max damage combos and learn all the setups that Javits are teaching you and things like that. And I was like, I don't think you do, because I don't even think Infiltration uses Menat as well as Justin does in the ground footsie range.
He doesn't even get engaged in that very often.
And so I feel like Infiltration isn't even 100% optimized on Menat, and he's winning tournaments with the character, you know. So, but I mean, again, it sounds like you're kind of agreeing with me.
Well,
in this situation.
I do agree for Justin, because Justin is one of the all-time talented players. I definitely agree when it comes to beginners. Just play. Like, that's until you're like 2 years into playing, like, you just play. Like, just do stuff. And when a game comes out, don't be afraid to just learn like 2 combos and then just go online. and play. Like, just it's more important to have that experience.
Right.
But when you're at the highest level of play, I think if you are anybody but, you know, Justin, Infiltration, like players who are like among the all-time greatest, then I think you should have the mindset of you need to optimize everything, because you probably do to beat players who are that strong.
Right.
Like the players who Justin beat, they're all trying to optimize things. Like I've talked with Myers, you know, he went to Japan. He's like really trying to optimize every single little thing.
Right.
And he's still not winning big majors in the way that Justin was with his like 2/3 Manat. So it's that's it's like kind of a tough pill to swallow if you're not one of those top greatest ever players. But it's I think the reality that you probably do have to make sure that everything is as optimized as possible, because you probably don't have like the innate talent that some of those other guys have.
And you know, someone even argued to me that one of the reasons why you don't have to do that with Manat is, one, you know, Manat can be played with different styles, which is cool, right? But two, they were basically saying, well, it's also because Manat is busted.
I mean, she's really good, of course.
Yeah, I know, but like, again, going into that Cammy topic, and it sucks because I play both of these characters, so it sounds like I'm doing the downplaying thing. But like, I actually don't even think Manat is even busted. You know what I mean?
I don't think she's busted.
I don't think she's like
just strong.
Like, because someone was trying to imply that she's free wins as well, because you can't hit her weapon, you know, and stuff like that. And it's just like, come on.
Like, nobody's played against Dalsum forever. You can counterpoke Dalsum's limbs, but the main way to get in is to jump when he does some laggy button on the ground. That's been anti-Dalsum tech since 1991.
Right, dude.
Forever.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Dalsum's never been broke. Well, maybe not.
He's been broken in most of his games.
Let me revert that. But
Dalsum user.
Dalsum can
Why are you downplaying your character, man? No.
Dalsum can definitely be designed in a way, and the last few Street Fighters have shown it, where he's not like so good.
Right. Yeah.
That's where I feel Manat is. Manat is the best Dalsum in the game, but you use anti-Dalsum tech, and that's there it is. Like, it's, she's obviously really strong, but not broken.
Right. But then there's always the case that some characters, you have to optimize them, like Ryu, like Alex. Like, you have to 100% all of them, because but then I was saying, like, that's kind of different, because that's just a tiering thing. Like, I don't think that that's kind of related, because I think if you played Ryu at 110%, you wouldn't be winning tournaments. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there are some characters where it just takes like Kuroda level genius to make them look viable,
right. Yeah, exactly.
Which is really, really rare. Yeah, man. I think that I do think that most top level players have to have the mindset of optimize everything possible.
Right.
But I do think that there are some of those just like all-time players who can get by doing whatever 3/4 of the character is.
Right.
I mean, think about how well Justin would be doing if he did his style now, but he also had a credible V-trigger.
Right.
Like, he basically doesn't use the character's V-trigger. He used a little bit of it only.
He knows the combo if he hits you. He has the one standard setup for the high-low mix-up, right? But then outside of that, whenever it doesn't work, you can tell he just tosses them so that he doesn't have to worry about them, right?
Yep.
So,
Wants to build back on a low end, I mean, think about how strong he would be. So even in Justin's case, he could be doing better. So it would be better if he optimized it. He just doesn't need to in the way that everybody else does.
Right. And then even something like Infiltration, if he tried to optimize what Justin's doing with the footsies and the buttons, I think that would actually hurt Infiltration.
It's not his style.
It's not what he wants to do.
That's never been he's never been the mid-range footsies player in any game he's played. He's never been that.
Right.
He's been everything else.
Right. And, you know, someone just asked in the chat, why is Infiltration's jury good? And it's the same reason, because
movement, dude.
Infiltration has always been about movement, and that's why his Nash was so good in Season 1.
I mean, that's why his Akuma was great in SF4. Like, that was it. Is such good movement.
And I feel like if he tried to play Justin's style, if he tried to optimize that would actually hurt him.
Wouldn't work.
So I don't feel like he's even using Manat in 100% optimized. He's using it in 100% optimized for Infiltration.
I mean, maybe he could use some more footsies, but you know, like, it's nice to have if the circumstance requires. He just doesn't often require it.
And DeCapre, right? Dude, that was like all he was like, where are you on the screen? Yeah, exactly. So
Justin with Season 2 Manat. It's basically what he's playing. Because he so rarely throws out the orb, so he so rarely gets the explosion. It's just Season 2 Manat. And I was thinking that V-Trigger 2 was designed for him. his style of Minot.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
But like, it still probably would be worse.
Right.
Than
I mean,
V-Trigger 1.
Javits does some ridiculous stuff with that V-Trigger too, and it's just like good combo kind of sequences.
Yeah, there's like that, uses in it for sure.
But then also another thing too is that Justin even said, like, he said Minot's biggest buff in season 3 was not the Soul Spark explosion. It was that everybody lost throw loops, so they couldn't maul her anymore.
Yep, sure.
That's what he said on Twitter, and there is a lot to say about that as well. So now he can actually be the I get tossed, but now I can use my solid defense that Justin has always had to get out of that situation. So
yeah, same reason that Dalsum isn't low tier now. He's probably mid tier. Like, he doesn't have to deal with throw loops quite as often. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
All right, there you go. Hey!
Well, I mean, what's cool about that is, usually we're just talking about news, we're just talking about things like that. I think it's kind of cool to get into those little segments like that. Fun. So if people on chat actually have suggestions for the segment name, tweet us at jchensor, at ultradavid, at ultrachendtv, and let us know what you guys think about that. I kind of want to do this more often.
I think it's great.
And just even to talk about players. I know it's going to be weird because I think some players are going to not like us talking about them and stuff like that, but it's what we kind of do. So
I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Wow, it'd be hilarious if there were health bars on screen while this was happening. Go down. Oh my god. We would need somebody else to run the stream for that. That'd be cool. Hilarious, though.
Did we really get to 1.3 views? We did. Dang. Okay, look at this.
I guess the segment worked out. Hey, also send us topics if you want us to talk about anything particular.
Send us anything like that. Again, at ultrachendtv is probably the best place to send it, although we don't check it nearly enough. But
I look at it.
Okay.
I got it up on the old tweet
Make sure
there.
Tag it to at jchensor and at ultradavid as well. So there you go.
Dude, if Ninja hosted the stream, 1,000 viewers, that's a rounding error for what that guy gets. Like, it's not even relevant.
I know, right?
He would not even notice if 1,000 people dropped off. That probably happens all the time. He's probably streaming to hundreds of thousands of people, and it goes down by 1,000, and he just doesn't
because at any given second, 1,000 people would probably be like, I need to go do something, and then it drops 1,000, but then another 1,000 people are like, let me check what Ninja's doing. Yeah.
All right.
Dude, what ice cream flavor is best? Oh, man. Dude, they're trying to throw all sorts of toppings. They're going to do that whole milk before cereal or cereal before milk kind of thing. They're going to throw those topics at us. You really don't care?
About the milk versus cereal?
Yeah.
It doesn't have any impact on the
first?
taste. Who cares? Right? It doesn't.
Okay.
I don't have any preconceived notions about how my cereal escapades need to go. I just want.
What about microwaving milk for your cereal to
I don't
make
want
it warmer?
Hot milk. But that changes the taste.
Yeah, he microwaves his cereal.
I've heard about the stories.
I mean, look,
that seems a little too much for me.
I'll be honest. I've done it before. I've microwaved milk and then ate cereal with that. But that was like when I had a cold or something like that, and I just my mom insisted that it was better for the cold.
Sure.
Thing, so
it is true though. I eat apple cores, so I feel like I'm willing to do more stuff than some other folks. Anyway, what else we got going on?
Okay, well, before we get onto the next topic, which is BBTAG and all that stuff like that, let's go and do the rest of the results from the weekend, and then we'll take a break and we'll come back with some BBTAG and SF30 stuff here. This weekend was also the Rage Esports Street Fighter V All-Star League. This was the event that was going on in Japan with the crazy colored teams names and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like a very high production and kind of zany esports take on things. Yeah. Did you see the intro trailer?
No. Oh, with Tokido and like the crazy editing and all that.
Yeah, the crazy editing.
Like crushing the apple or whatever it was.
Stuff like that.
You know?
It's kind of funny.
No, it was really cool. I tried watching it last night. I forgot it was coming on, and it came on, and I was like, oh, cool. And I put it on while I was lying in bed, and I just like passed out immediately. Okay. So I actually didn't get a chance to see most of it. But remember, there's 6 team captains, right? Which is Daigo, Moke, Itasan, Nemo, Tokido, and Fujimura.
Right.
And they were all going to recruit 2 players onto their team. Now, I thought it was going to be only the people that were licensed, but I know I saw Momochi on there at one point in time. So apparently they have
good point.
Some way to get around that, and I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's only on OpenRec TV. It's only
Right.
on OpenRec TV.
Yeah.
And they're going to do a round robin thing, I think it is. I'm not sure how the scoring works exactly, but...
Well, it's the team record, so if the team wins it, it's 1-0, and they keep track of the overall game tallies in case of differential.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
In case of ties.
As we mentioned, the team captains I mentioned were Daigo with the gold team, Moke with the sunrise team, Itazan with the ocean team, Nemo with the aurora team, Tokido with the flame team, and Fujimura with the emerald team.
I wonder if, like, when these actual team names are in Japanese, instead of flame, is it red? And, like, in Japanese, is red just, like, translated weirdly so that it becomes flame? Or did they really just pick flame?
I think they really just...
They just picked flame.
I think they did, yeah.
Hey.
But they're going to round robin, and so basically the first match was Team Sunrise, which is Moke, versus Team Flame Tokido. And Dogura, let's see, they had 3 sets here altogether. Dogura beat Mago, and then Fudo... Should I read all these results, or should I just talk about the records?
Yeah.
Okay. So on the day one, basically, here, we'll just do this here. So between Moke and Tokido, basically Team Moke wins 3 sets to 0, so they get 8 points to 1 point for Tokido's team, basically. And then they had Team Emerald, Fujimura, versus Team Daigold. And that's what somebody in the chat said. I thought that was actually good. But it was basically 3-1. So Team Daigo wins 3 sets to 1, so they get 9 points. Woo! And the other team got 3 points. And then there was Team Aurora versus Team Ocean.
That is Team Ocean is Itazan, and Aurora is Storm Kubo.
Okay, there you go. And that ended up going all the way 5 sets, with Itazan winning 3 sets to 2 sets. So they got 9 points and 6 points to the other team. And so I'm not sure how this works exactly.
Yeah, no. Well, Daigo's team is currently in the lead because they're tied 1-0 with Moke's and Itazan's.
Right, but they have 8 points.
Yeah, they're +8 instead of +7.
Okay, so +8, +7, and +3. So
yeah, that's just game differential.
Okay. And then on the second half, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. And then Aurora, then Flame, then Emerald. So Nemo, Tokido, then Fujimura with -3, -7, and -8 in point differential.
All right. Well, we'll keep our eye on this.
0-1 records. But there's going to be a lot more matches. On the 13th, Wednesday, they're going to do some more matches. Thursday, and then on the 14th, they're going to do more. And then 6/18 on Monday, 6/19 on Tuesday. They've got a whole bunch of these going down, so there's going to be a lot of cool stuff going on over there. Yeah. But let me take a look at something really quick. Which team was Momochi on? Momochi was on, looks like Emerald's team. There you go. So he's on the Fujimura team.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
All right. Let's get out of here.
All right. Also this weekend was E-League.
Oh, yeah.
So the first episode of the E-League Invitational group happened, and interesting way they had it set up. Basically, they have a double elimination bracket.
Yeah.
But you skip rounds based on how you placed in the round robin.
Right.
So like basically the higher you place in the round robin, you play less rounds of the double elimination bracket, which is really kind of interesting. So I almost kind of think it was set up like they just put the players there, and like if there's these guys in losers bracket, if you lose in losers bracket, you got to beat them one by one as they go, but they don't end up in the same place in losers bracket as you do. Right, and so Group A played out. Group A, of course, Luffy was in first place up there. Tokido was in second place. And then there was Dogura, PR Balrog, Mena, RD, and JB. If I'm not mistaken, JB was in third place. And Dogura was like at the bottom. He was like at the very end. He was at the very end. But it played out in group play. Yeah,
but it's right there.
It played
PR
out.
was the bottom.
Oh, okay, PR was in sixth place. Yeah, and then Dogura. Well. Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then Dogura was in fifth place after the group results. But after they all played it out, Dogura apparently just went on a tear in losers bracket. He went on a tear, and the result happened here. Sixth place was actually PR Balrog with Akuma. He just lost the first game, essentially, to Dogura. And then fifth place was Rise Mena RD. How surprised are you by that one?
Surprised. Maybe not super surprised. More surprised that he got fifth out of six, I think I would say. But I felt like there were 4 players who had a great chance of getting out of this. He was one of them. So.
Okay. And then fourth place was Sonic Box JB. Of course, he was third place in the group one, so he fell down one position. Most of these people just kind of fell down one position because of Dogura. Third place, Aries RB Luffy.
Yeah, horrible.
With Armika. And like, considering the fact that he went undefeated in the group, he was 5-0.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's kind of like unfair that this happened
sucks,
to him?
Dude. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about unfair, but it's really unfortunate. You know, there's... It's not just supposed to be a tournament, obviously. There's a show aspect to it. So I like that the round robin exists because then you get to see everybody. That's really cool. And then I like that there's a tournament because then it's like the
actual environment that we play. Yeah.
So I like that there's both. It's just that the way that interacts, I don't know that you can make that in a way that where you avoid a situation like Luffy dominating the groups in the round robin stage.
All he had to do was win one match. Right? Because he either had to beat Tokido or he had to beat Dogura.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
But he lost to Tokido and then he lost to Dogura.
Right.
So he went 0-2 and was eliminated.
He went basically 5-2 on the day.
Yeah, basically. And so second place, as I mentioned, was Dogura and first place was Tokido. So Tokido and Dogura make it out to the playoffs then. Right. So they make it to the finals, and that means the two Japanese players in that bracket survive, and all the rest of them who were not Japanese players do not.
I mean, Luffy was blowing people up in that round robin. And then even when he ended up losing to Dogura, he dropped, I forget what combo it was, but it was like something that he does every day, and it didn't work out for him, and then he ended up losing. So he had a chance to even win it. So, still it kind of sucks.
Right.
It is definitely a bummer, but there you go.
Okay, well, that was the first round. So Group B will be taking place this Friday, basically. And that one is going to be Punk, Fudo, Momochi, Phenom, 801 Strider, and Commander Jesse.
James, who do you have getting out of that?
Yeah, I was about to ask you the same question, but you beat me to it, man. The life bars are just going to go... I just lost life right now. So... Punk, Fudo, Momochi, Phenom, 801 Strider, Commander Jesse. Okay, I'm going to vote one with my brain and one with my heart. Okay. How's that? Okay.
I guess.
My brain, I'm going to vote for Fudo.
Sure.
I'm going to just take Fudo because he's just really, really good.
Sure.
My heart, and again, like I don't know if he can do it, but like I'm going to go Commander Jesse. Yeah, I'm going to go Commander Jesse as the surprise upset, making it out of the bracket.
I like Fudo and Phenom.
Fudo and Phenom. Okay, so you're just doing a brain and brain, basically, then, right?
That's what my heart says, too. My heart...
Okay. I mean,
I feel good about those picks.
If I did brain and brain, I might do Fudo Momochi, just because that'll be the Japanese players again, and Japan has just been dominating everything, but I really, really would love to see Commander Jesse do some damage.
Of course, it'd be great.
So, yeah.
All right.
All right.
What else happened?
Also this weekend was the CPT Online Asia. It was basically the online event Asia Southeast 1 results.
Yeah.
And so this was, of course, continuing the CPT Online events. 7th place was Razor Sien with a Buki, so he got 1 point.
High five. It may end up mattering in the end. We'll see. It may, actually.
7th place was also BK9999 with Balrog, also 1 point. 5th place, Alex Nation Kogumer Lim with Alex, 10 points. And Leslie with Rashid, 10 points. Of course, Leslie, strong Sagat player in Street Fighter 4 from Singapore. 4th place, Aaron Manurung with Nash, 20 points.
Wow.
3rd place, PBE Don with Akuma, 40 points. 2nd place, ViewSonic Neko XX with Brainless Cammy.
Yeah, easy.
In 7th with 70 points. But 1st place, Chuan with Guile, 150 points.
Now, I heard that Chuan is from Malaysia, which means that he's the first Malaysian to win an event like this.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is really cool, and he played really well. So, from what I heard, I didn't get a chance to see it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either.
I remember seeing some comments from people saying that he played really, really strong, and
I must have. It was good.
But, I mean, he was using Guile. There's a brain-dead character for you. No, I'm just kidding.
It is cool to see Alex and Nash up in there, though.
Yeah, for sure. So,
all right.
There you go. So that was the events that happened this weekend. So,
is he actually American?
I mean, I see a Kappa face after there, probably not.
Probably not.
So, yeah. Ultra Arcade talking about KI World Cup. is going to happen as well.
Sick.
So,
Wow,
nice.
that's some news.
Cool. But let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we will talk some more about BBTAG and Street Fighter 30th, and also have some E3 speculation. Be right back, guys.
I'm gonna eat 3.
Eat sports. We eat sports now, or we've always been eat sports, right? Oh man. Okay. Pew. Come on.
What's going on over there?
There we go.
Turns out that maybe grasshopper is expensive, we're told. Who knew?
So eating grasshopper might actually cost a pretty penny, huh?
I would never have guessed, to be
Well,
honest.
I mean, ant-coated French fries, you can eat a lot more of those, right? So, and it wasn't that expensive. So
I can't eat ants.
Trying to make some sort of like grasshopper and the ant reference here, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So, anyways, grossest thing
Sell
about
it at my Corrigan barbecue.
grossest thing about eating ants with French fries is the ants get stuck on your teeth. They get like,
Yeah, they're little crispy bits.
and you have to like, well, it's like you catch them like in between the head and the abdomen or the thorax, and you have to use a toothpick.
I've had chocolate covered ants.
Oh, you have?
Back in the day,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I thought they were pretty good. They're just little crispy bits.
Okay.
Anyway, so things have happened. BlazBlue tag, cross tag battle is out, and Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Edition has been out for about a week now. So let's talk about it.
Sure. I haven't had a chance to mess with BlazBlue's cross tag battle. I didn't know it was out, and when I saw you tweet that it was out, I was like, oh, I need to get it. But then I streamed the 30th stuff yesterday, so I just literally haven't had a chance to go and grab that. But I am so excited to be able to get my hands on that on the Nintendo Switch with the training mode, with my PS4 pad, on the airplane, so I can training mode the hell out of that game and actually training mode all the characters. I'm super excited for that.
Dude, yeah, it's because it's one of those sandbox games where you can find out all sorts of crazy crap. So, like, whichever 2 characters you get, you're going to find some interesting stuff.
And that, to me, is super exciting because, you know, I felt like there have been team-based games before where the synergy hasn't mattered as much. But it seems like in BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, the synergy is going to be super important.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, just the way that the system works is very much geared towards that. I like it because, as we talked about a little bit when the beta was out, the way that the assists and tagging works, I really, really like it. So each character has 3 assists. There's a forward assist, neutral assist, back assist. Different things for different characters, obviously. And when the assist comes out, you can then press your like partner button, and which is the way that you switch characters.
Right.
And then that will like make that the new point character.
Right.
So you
That's
can
like
you
the
can
best
effectively
part.
do some big move with your point character, then call assist, then tag, cancel. I don't know the phrasing into your other dude. So now you've switched
Can you
points.
imagine calling Captain Commando and having him come in and go boom, and then as the assist you could tag into him and then do Captain Sword and then DHC into
Why not?
Sentinel drones and then have Sentinel continue the combo
be a different
afterwards. Dude. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah.
And that's what people have to understand by the ability of having one of 3 assists that you could call. And it's not even that you have to pick them ahead of time.
No.
You can choose which assist by back, forward, or neutral and assist button, and then you can change into them and then they can do stuff. Like, I think that
There's a lot of creativity.
The opportunities are endless. The game is going to be very creative and very sick.
I really think it is.
And sick.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, it's called MVCI. Exactly. MVCI is a lot like that as well.
Well,
but you just control the assist right away.
Yeah.
You don't have the option of calling the assist and staying as the point.
I like the 2 games for almost exactly the same reasons.
Yes.
They're both very well designed, very interesting, very very explosive, sort of very strong at whatever it is you want to do. So zoning heavy teams are super strong zoners. Characters that are teams that are about getting in, they get in. And characters that are mid range are like really strong footsies characters, and they back each other up really well. So like each one of those things is very strong, and I like that. I like having strong options. I like the creativity that comes with the way that it's set up. So. It's also ugly because the games are from 2008. So I mean, they're all just sort of mashed together,
right?
Which I don't care about. So my feelings on this game and Marvel are almost identical. I really like both of them.
And you know, I am glad and this kind of probably appeals to the Injustice fan in you as well, but I like that zoning can be strong in this game. I like all the fact that all the different styles, and in fact, one of the reasons why I wanted to use Naoto in Persona, because I thought she would be a zoner. She wasn't, so I thought about Yukiko as a zoner. But like now, maybe I can actually create that proper zoning team in this game.
Oh, for sure you can.
I think that would be really, really fun.
So I'm playing Tager Walled, more accurately Walled Tager, because my Tager is kind of butt right now. I got to work on that.
Ooh,
but
okay.
Walled is basically running the show with occasional Tager assist. I really like both characters. They work together really well. But every single team that I've come across, I have felt like it can work together well. Like all the teams that I've seen other people play on streams, or that I've seen people play when I played against them on ranked or whatever it is. I haven't seen a team yet that feels like it can't work together.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if it's going to end up being like that. I'm sure that the synergy will really end up mattering.
How's the netcode been so far?
Actually, for me, it's been really good.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, for me, it's been really good.
Okay.
I've been playing against people who are like 1 and 2 bars.
Dude, Ultra Arcade.
And it's still good.
I mean, you both used, what's his name in Killer Instinct, right?
Tush, yeah, for sure.
Tusk, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have similar ideas. Yeah, dude, really good characters. I'm also gonna start a team of new Yukiko to zone because I think so. I played new in BlazBlue, and she's really, really fun. I really like her in this game too, and
being able to zone and build health.
Right. So she zones, and Yukiko has an assist where she gets health back for both team members.
Oh, dang. Okay.
So I found this out today. I didn't know that it was for both. I found this out today when I was playing against this guy, person who was using Kanji Yukiko. And Kanji, he wasn't in the beta, so I didn't really know what to look for, and I don't think Yukiko was, or no, she was.
She was the
but
dummy that you beat up.
But I didn't see her very often. So I basically blew up this dude's Kanji, and then he started turtling. And I was like, whatever, man, just turtle it out. I don't you're a grappler,
right?
Right. And then he starts calling Yukiko, and he got all of his life back. Before I was like, wait, what? It was like, so like, you have to come in against that.
Right.
You can't stay away. So
it's like a zoner that forces. So if you play with new, right, you force them to come in at you.
Forces movement.
Dang, I might have to steal that team.
Dude, it sounds crazy good, right?
I think that actually sounds really fun because Yukiko is also a zoner herself in a way, right? So okay, so there you go.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. But a lot of characters have interesting assists. Like Jin has the little ice assist, the like very slow moving projectile. He's got big DP assist. Yeah, Rachel assist, putting out the thing is really strong. I'm
going to have to basically find a good zoning team and a good rushdown team for me, so to see if I can have both, basically. So
I don't think it's dumbed down at all. I think it's a really complicated game. Each individual character doesn't have all the normals that they did in the games that they were in previously. So there's less of that, but it's not dumbed down for sure.
The complexity does not come from the normal choices and uses. The complexity comes from the partner use, basically. That you have to consider it that way. It is simplified. There are definitely way more the game is way more auto combo-y than other games. Yeah. But the game complexity doesn't come from that. The game's complexity comes from how you use your assists and everything, because the assist, like I said, it's so open. Yeah. It's so open world, you know what I mean? You can basically do what you want, so I think that's kind of cool.
Tager's moves are already magnetized. He comes into the round with the opponent magnetized.
That's what I was hoping he would be the first time. That he just was a grappler with magnets. You know what I mean?
So it's crazy because his jump B, which is what his old jump D used to be, the big like glowing thing, that sucks people in when they're magnetized. Now they're always magnetized, so you can basically just jump back and bring them to you.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping for, because now the way that he was in BlazBlue was that you had combos into Spark Shot or whatever like that, and then you had just combos that set up based off of that magnetize instead of trying to use it in neutral footsies. And I think that would have been
You had to set that up.
Yeah, I think it would have been more. I think it's more interesting this way. So.
Dude, yeah, it's super interesting.
Yeah,
all the characters that I've seen have been fun.
Ebonic Plague is in the chat. Great job on commentary at Dreamhack, sir.
Yeah. I think you're probably my favorite Dragon Ball commentator, but I'll deny that.
And you know what?
I'm the best.
I'm going to.
That game.
Oh, I can't do it here. Okay, I'll do it. You know what?
So I like Kanji. I think Kanji seems interesting. Just not as interesting as Tager and Wald, but I do like the tools that they gave him. I feel like he can work pretty well. He's got some good buttons still in there. They didn't like destroy his button choices, which is pretty cool.
I'm going to be totally biased here. I am modding Ebonic Plague in our chat right now, so he is a mod because he is also part of our Final Fantasy Record Keeper Discords. So,
really?
Yeah, So
oh my god, the mega nerds.
Exactly, so there you go. Now you are a mod.
Anyway, I really recommend checking out BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. It's really, really an interesting game.
I mean,
and the fact that you can play it on the airplane.
Dude, I was worried about the button problem as well, about, like, there's still some issues with it. Like, when I do combos, I want to have access to some of those target combo moves so I can hit in different directions to allow me to do different combo stuff. But don't let that discourage you. Like I said, I haven't played it much, but even from, like, there was one time I was just testing my Brooks adapter again, so I just started up the beta, and I was doing Jin combos with the PS4 controller and stuff like that, and I was just, like, finding really cool stuff. So don't let that discourage you.
Like, I still have some walled combos that are tight timing. It's not, they're not, like, free. You're not just doing, like, A. It's not like that. Like, he's got combos where there really is tight timing involved, but you're going from one chain to the other.
Right,
so there's like a link between the chains with where the link is tight.
Even like Ragnar, I had this combo in the corner where you have to juggle with B, like at just the exact right height. If it's too high up, it won't combo. If it's too low, you miss. And so there's definitely timing in there as well. So, yeah. So definitely give it a shot.
It's not. I wouldn't describe it as being a BlazBlue. It's not BlazBlue.
No.
BlazBlue is definitely its own very distinct game from BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. They just put. I guess they put the name in there because it's just a popular series in Japan. I don't know,
and it was by the creators of BlazBlue, and you know, and they're still kind of the main character. They have the most cast in the game. So
but think of it as its own game. It's really not. It's really not the same at all. But
no, it is definitely not wrong for not playing a game because of aesthetic. If anime, waifus, and stuff like that is not your aesthetic, don't play it. If seeing Platinum doing things with bubble noises bothers you, don't play it. I mean, there's
you know, I tend to. So I don't love the design of some characters that are like that, but Platinum is so silly that I really do like it. Actually, it's like it goes all the way around the circle back to cool to me.
It's basically like them doing it to rub it in your face. And then it becomes trolly at that point in time. So Platinum is definitely trolly. So
but I really don't like Ruby saying, "Don't you move." Oh God, I hate it.
She's basically the
Don't you move.
She's basically kind of like the new Storm. Or Jam. You know, all day and stuff like that. So. All right. 30th anniversary also. We've had a week now to play with it, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't played it online at all because all I've been doing is just streaming all this stuff, you know.
So, what's your experience of the game then like?
So my experience is I've been streaming it and like messing with it and doing all the retrospective stuff, right? So I've done 2 episodes now. I did one with just World Warrior, and the next one I did was Champ Edition and Hyper Fighting. And, you know, it's been awesome just reliving a lot of the stories and talking about all, like, the old strategies and everything like that, and showing how characters changed and what was broken in a game, why this was good and everything like that. And the best part about it is that everything I remember is there.
Okay.
And to me, that's, like, I've talked about it to people. I know some people on Twitter gave me, you know, shit for it, basically, because I was like, I wouldn't even care if they had no online play, because for me it's for the historical accuracy, right? And people are like, you're an idiot. And and the thing about it is, to be honest with you, from their standpoint, they're right, because for me, Street Fighter is something different than for them.
Sure, okay.
Right? For me, Street Fighter is everything, right? Street Fighter is life. Street Fighter is basically what I've dedicated my life to, kind of in this weird way. So the historical accuracy thing is important to me. But the fact that I was able to do that on this version of the game and show everything that I have been doing and just waxing nostalgic, and I forgot what happened. There was something that happened during my stream, and I was like, this is exactly why I need this historical accuracy, because, like, this allows me to, like, I can see these kind of things. And, you know, people have seen, like, bugs in there where things are like I put up the clip where I made Guile disappear and then Dulcim disappear, right? And so people are like, oh, arcade perfect. I'm like, this is arcade perfect, you know? Someone showed a bug, like, you know, where someone froze and they're like, why wouldn't they fix that? And I was like, I don't want them to fix that. Like, it's almost sad to me that they had to fix some of those bugs that crash the game, you know what I mean, in the online-able games and stuff like that. But for me, it's so important, and going through it, doing the history and seeing everything all work. Like, I was even able to get Sagat's unblockable uppercut to work in hyper fighting and things like that. And it's like, that's just so much joy to me, and to be able to see all that kind of stuff. So I've been having a blast. The time that I did play online, it wasn't terrible for me. I know that has not been. I have seen people say it's the greatest online and it's the worst online, right? So, but I think I've definitely seen more negative things on it. I'm hoping they do patch a few things, like that they will go through and patch a few problems that are with the game. It's been crashing. I know it crashed for me one time. Me too. But for the most part, you know, for me, like I said, I'm coming from a unique place to be able to see all the stuff, to be able to remember all the things that I used to do with the game and everything like that has really been a joy. And I feel bad because once we get to the Street Fighter 3 series, I'm not going to have this kind of knowledge for all the games like I can do with the current games that we're doing. And I really wish that, like, Flash G, if you could find him on Twitter at spell Flash G backwards, basically. So it's GHSALF. And he's been posting up all these, like, bugs that he's been, from the arcade that he's been able to reproduce at home. And it's really funny. So
that's nice.
I might steal a bunch of, I might message him, like, can I credit you and, like, show a bunch of these things.
Yeah,
exactly.
I didn't know about the 512 thing in Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, that was really weird because I always remembered when I used to play it a long time ago in the arcades, every time you hit a button, all of a sudden they would just, like, flash kick.
So you press short enough times, there's a 1 in 512 chance that you come out with a special move. So they wanted you to know that special moves that were in the game.
Yeah, same thing with blocking. There was a 1/512 chance that the game would block for you.
Whoa.
And it happened to me on stream, too. I like trying to do magic throw, and I did upside down kick, and Ken blocked it. Like, and I was like, what the heck happened? So they wanted to make sure that you knew about blocking as well.
Okay.
But literally, what's really funny about the 512 thing is that Madge, when he did his Guile combo video a long time ago, he did it on a version of frame name with save states and text inputs.
Oh, wow.
So he could be frame perfect on it, right? And so he wanted a combo using the 512 glitch.
Okay.
So he recorded a combo so Guile could walk up and flash kick, right?
Okay, sick.
And it wouldn't work, so he put one more frame at the start of the combo of neutral and shoved everything one frame later. Didn't work. Shoved it one frame later and just did that. And then all of a sudden, at one point in time, it worked, and there it was. So from the save state, he could get it to work. So there you go.
Genius.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just cool to see all these things like that. So it makes me excited.
Well, my experience has not been as positive.
Right.
I didn't. So I don't think that it's been an overall bad experience necessarily, but it's not what I was hoping. For example, in Third Strike, it uses the ROM or the port or whatever version where you have to have it. You have to do EX moves by pressing all 3 punches or kicks or whatever on the same frame.
Right. It has to be perfect.
It has to be perfectly timed, which means that I screwed up often. And I've never screwed up EX moves. I don't have good execution, of course, but I've never screwed up execution on EX moves.
Right.
In that way. So that's a bummer to me.
I'm curious about that because I know Zangief is like that with lariats in the old
I screwed up pretty regularly.
Right. And that's a regular thing. Like, as a Zangief player, you never get mad about it.
Yeah,
you just punch a fireball, you're like, well, that just happened, and you don't care. So, you know, it's interesting. But it's weird to me that it wasn't like that in the arcade. So what happened?
Arcade.
You know,
I don't really know, dude. But it's like that now. It also is a bummer that if you have like a certain kind of arcade stick, then it won't recognize your diagonal inputs.
On the PC.
On the PC.
Yeah.
Yes. So like I was playing against Vicious on the PC, and he was talking to me about like how he was wondering if like was our connection terrible because like he keeps screwing up inputs, and he's like pretty sure he's getting the right commands and it's not coming out. And he figured out today that that was the issue, that he was just screwing up things because of that.
Someone even suggested changing your stick to analog, and it actually makes it work better and stuff like that. So I've definitely heard a lot of issues. Yeah, 3DS OE had the same issue with the EX moves.
Correct.
As well. So, and it's interesting because 3DS OE also had the same training mode bug, where if you drain someone to no life and just keep doing the combo on them, they react differently. So I was actually using Dudley against the Shotos, and I was doing low short, low strong, low fierce, the target combo, and the fierce kept missing. And I was like, this wasn't a thing. I know this worked on Shotos, right? Yeah. So I did it over and over and over again. No, fierce, whiff, 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 whiff. And I was like, what the hell? And then I just sat there and like tried to look something up, and then I went back to it, and then it was landing. It was connecting. I was like, what the heck? It connected over and over and over again in a row, and then all of a sudden it stopped working again. And then I was like, wait, this one was in 3DS OE. This was the same bug and the same thing that happened to me before. It was because when I waited, it let the life recover.
Right, sure.
And then the combo would work again. And it's weird because this was the exact same bug. So there's something interesting about the 3DS port on this one. It feels like they based it off of the OS, the OE version, not necessarily the arcade ROM. So it's interesting.
I don't know. So those are my input issues. It also, the online is very hit or miss. It's like very hit or miss. It's rare that I feel like the connection's like middling. It's bad, quite bad, or good. It's never great, but it's never. I feel like it's always one of the two more extremes.
Sorry, can I ask? When it's bad, is it bad rollback or is it delay? It's delay netcode. Yeah, it is delay netcode. Okay.
Yeah. So it feels pretty rough sometimes. So I have it set on like the best connections possible option, which is framed as the input lag that you're willing to accept.
Right.
So I put it on like 0 or 1 or something like that. So I'm not getting nearly as many matches, of course, because it's only players who are close to me or whatever the issue is. So what often happens is that I'll be playing a game, whatever, one of us backs out. The opponent definitely always backs out of the rematch, is what it is. For sure. And then, not because I always win, I want to keep playing, even if I'm losing. So that happens sometimes, and then we will both hit like start search again, and we get matched right back up. So that's happened to me at one point 4 times in a row. So I don't think that there are that many people playing hyper fighting on PC with minimal lag connections.
I can't remember what game it was that I was playing, but that happened to me as well. It might have been like Tekken 7 or something like that I just kept running into the same guy because we would quit and... Oh no, I think it might have been Street Fighter 5. Like, me and Vicious kept running into each other over and over and over again, which was really weird, but yeah.
Yeah, well, makes sense. So that is kind of a bummer. But the games themselves are a blast. I mean, obviously these are some of my favorite games of all time. So I've had I've still played it a lot, even though I think there are issues with it. I've really enjoyed playing hyper fighting, and I've seen names on there that I haven't heard forever. I've been playing against Cigar Bob Zangief, for example, which is crazy.
Dude, he was in my chat yesterday. He was talking
for real.
To me.
Wow, how about that?
That was really cool.
He definitely ate my boxer alive in hyper fighting.
Oh yeah,
it's not an easy matchup.
Who was he using?
Zangief.
Oh yeah. That's not a fun matchup at all. That's not.
But it's funny because it brings back the memory to me of the first time I went to Evo, which is in 2003. There was an ST cab set up for casuals, and I think he brought it, or else
yeah. It was a Cigar Bob cabinet.
I believe it was. And so I met him there, and we were playing, and that was my first time at an event of that size meeting people, and he was one of the first people I met there.
Okay.
I mean,
sweet.
I don't know if that's a big deal, really, but it was cool to see that name again after so many years. Right. So there's that side of it that I've also really, really enjoyed.
Okay.
So there's, I feel like there's, it's not the best sort of technical product, but I really enjoy the games, and it's nice to see people I haven't seen in a while.
And there's also a lot of problems with a lot of the UI has been a little bit clunky here and there. There's kind of inconvenience. The training mode is kind of, you can tell, is very, very piecemeal because they put the training mode literally on top of an arcade game. They're not programming
it's just
training
save state
mode, right? Yeah, save state, and not only that, but all like the make the computer jump and all those things like that. They did what they could off of the game.
Yeah, I'm not going to quibble about that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, and in fact, I think that one of the most valuable things of it is that there is training mode. So like I've actually looked for modern ideas like safe jump, option select, invincible stuff in hyperfighting,
Right.
which I've found does not really work. And then a couple of other people on Twitter asked me what my setups were, and they would try it out, and they also said that it didn't really work for them.
Interesting. Okay,
So I feel like it handles. I feel like it causes. Proximity guard instantly. So the Dragon Punch is coming out, and before it is hitting, it's already causing proximity guard. So whatever your intended option select was can't come out because you're already stuck.
Well, also don't forget that this game has no trip guard. So there is definitely delay frames when you're landing.
I mean, like I'm blocking.
Oh, you're blocking.
I can safe jump. I can definitely safe jump.
Okay.
But then to bring out the turnaround punch or dragon punch or whatever it is that I'm doing when I'm landing, that never triggers.
Interesting.
I've never gotten that to trigger
Interesting. Even if you're not holding back at all, right? So
right,
then you won't trigger the proximity guard, right?
Actually, no. I guess I haven't done that. Maybe I got it. Okay. Well, no. I guess I can't. I'm not holding back because
you're doing uppercuts.
I'm doing a dragon punch.
Right. So you're just doing roundhouse uppercut or something like that, right? So,
No, but I guess I'm doing uppercut block because that's how I've always done it. Uppercut block. Very fast movement.
Oh, so maybe proximity guard has priority or something weird? I don't know.
That could be. Okay, I'll try not blocking. I'll go back into the lab. But in any case, the game definitely handles it differently than modern games do. So that's been interesting. And I also looked into like how does Boxer beat a Guile who's just doing down medium kick over and over. So you can walk up and press your own down medium kick in the middle. So there's stuff like that I've been able to figure out that's really useful. Okay. It's nice to have a training mode.
That and also Fearsome when he Sonic Booms. Trade Fierce on the Sonic Boom.
Oh, that I got.
That's always the
that
best
I got.
Right
But the bummer is that Stand Fierce, the hurt box on it is like half screen. So even if you're literally 2/3 screen and you press Fierce and he does down medium, you're gonna get hit.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's like absurdly bad.
Okay.
So you need to have a way to beat down medium kick, but he does.
Yeah. Crouching medium kick. I was like even doing that yesterday on the stream. I was like, I know it was either down roundhouse or down medium kick. They changed to hit those because in Champion Edition he literally could not do anything to Guile. Also because Dash Punch didn't hit crouchers. So like he was like Champion Edition Balrog was the worst character, like free. For free. Especially and I even told the story on stream is there's this great Chun-Li player. In fact, instant head stomp overhead was basically invented by this guy.
Okay.
It's a guy named Matt. He was one of the best players of Street Fighter 2. He played he went to UCLA. He placed really well at all of the world's finest tournaments early on. And when I played him at UCLA, when I visited my brother, I was just playing Balrog for fun. He comes and challenges me with Chun-Li.
Yeah.
And this was still back in the day where people didn't throw.
So
he hated throws, right? And so, like, I'm Balrog, and if you crouch block against him, you literally couldn't chip anybody.
Weird.
So I was like doing everything, and so he started winning, and he just started crouch blocking. So I'm like, dash punch, nothing. Walk up, poking. He wouldn't do anything, and I was like, fuck it. And I walked up and threw him, and he was like, oh, you throw, huh? And I was like, really? Okay. It's like so sad.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
I rediscovered crouching strong, stand short, dash upper into stand fierce or down roundhouse, which is cool. I didn't, for some reason, I didn't know that crouching strong links into stand short. I knew the rest of that combo, but I didn't know that part. So
did you do the my favorite Balrog combo was the Balrog versus Balrog combo? Where you could do jump fierce, stand short, kick charge, stand short, kick charge.
Oh, I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, that's the best.
Sick. Okay, I'll look into that.
Anyways, obviously, I get giddy and excited when I talk about these old games, and I was just telling all these stories. Everybody's really been enjoying the streams and stuff like that.
I think it's great, man. Yeah. But by the way, I do agree with Paul B that Fightcade is the better idea if you really want to get good at these games.
Okay.
There are more players playing 30th Anniversary Edition, but more strong players playing Fightcade, and I prefer playing. Like I feel better on the online of Fightcade as well, so that's what I think. But at the same time, like I said, it's been really nice to have the training mode, and it's been really nice to see names that I haven't seen in a long time who've come back for 30th anniversary. Yeah,
who was that I saw someone was playing against? Was like super old school player they kept running into online as well. But that's just really cool. So I'm happy. Like I said, I'm happy because even if there was no online, I would have been happy anyway. But that's a unique position for me. I'm definitely going to play it a bunch online soon, just to test it out and see how it goes for me. So
on Fightcade, you can also play Third Strike. There are a lot of people who play Third Strike.
Oh yeah, okay.
Super Turbo, Third Strike. I don't know about the alphas. I'm not sure. I've never really been into that, so couldn't tell you.
Okay. All right, then.
All right.
Coming around the corner very soon is going to be E3.
Yeah.
And E3, and it's interesting because it's hard to say, because this is a weird kind of, I want to say, a loaded question topic. But obviously E3 is going to have a lot of cool stuff there, et cetera, et cetera. But what we're concerned about is what kind of cool fighting game stuff is going to show up at E3, right? But the reason why, in my opinion, it's kind of a loaded question these days is because what kind of cool fighting game stuff is going to be announced at E3? But nowadays, they save a lot of that for EVO. EVO had way more fighting game announcements than, E3, and that's because, like, even just when they revealed Cody at Combo Breaker, the crowd reaction was awesome. It was cool to show that,
Right.
and EVO's going to have the same thing. When Geese came out, like, the entire stadium almost flipped the stage, you know what I mean? Like, the response was nuts.
Ridiculous, yeah.
So, the two questions is, one, what fighting game announcements do you feel like are going to show up at E3? Two, do you think there is even going to be any announcements?
For sure, yeah. I've read that Capcom is scheduled to show off Street Fighter something, so I don't know what it's going to be. I would be surprised if it was something significant. Like, I'd be surprised if it was a new character because the Cody reveal is so fresh, and he hasn't actually even come out yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And they've been doing a new character release every 2 months-ish, so I feel like we're going to see G in... Probably at EVO, I guess, in August, something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's probably
right?
true. That's probably true.
So that's my guess when it comes to
Street Fighter. And that will be
Fighter.
the only Capcom reveal.
Probably.
And the trailer will probably
be
bugged
weird
in
looking,
some
yeah.
way, you
Yeah.
know, and anyway.
For sure. That's my guess there. I'd be super surprised. I'd be flabbergasted if there was any Marvel news.
Right.
What? I can't believe it. Like that degree of craziness.
I mean, obviously, we know
Not
that
happening.
Smash 5 is coming out. Smash Switch is going to be at E3. They've already announced that. They've already had all the, talking about the people who are going to play in the exhibition.
Right, there's exhibition.
We know about that already.
Right.
Is there anything else you think that may show up?
I do expect MK11.
Oh, yeah.
I expect it.
Okay.
I would be surprised, not hugely, but I'd be surprised if it wasn't announced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's over the last, what is it now? MK9 to Injustice, MKX, Injustice 2. Every 2 years in spring, they have announced the next game. Each time they've announced it before E3, if I recall correctly, because I remember going to each time at E3 and like seeing the next build. I mean, it's never in a state where they like let you play it unless you're fancy, which I'm not. But it's always already there.
Or are you?
Well, I haven't been in the past, I can tell you that.
Sure, Landsies will let you go and play it and stuff
We'll
like
see.
that, right?
Actually, it would be pretty cool. I'll check it out. But I mean, I don't know anything for now. I just would be surprised if not, because that's been the pattern each time. And some people expected it at Combo Breaker because of the location. Chicago is where NRS is.
And
they have a lot of connections there.
Yeah,
the MK9 and MKX, which they
start
both put
of
in money
IPS.
for. Right, start of the IPS. So there were a lot of things that seemed like it might lead into that. But if that didn't work, then I think this is it. And Ed Boon is constantly on Twitter hinting that it's coming. Constantly.
Right.
Every week.
Yeah.
Multiple times a week he's doing it. So... he part of his role is the troll, and he does a good job of it.
Right.
But I would still be surprised if it didn't come. And if it doesn't come there, for sure it's at EVO.
Right.
For sure.
Okay.
So if it doesn't come, I'd be happy. I mean, I don't want it. I want to wait a little while. I want more than 2 years on an NRS game to actually explore it and have fun with it.
But here's the good news.
Hasn't happened yet.
Here's the good news, though. With Combo Breaker and all these events, we've seen a lot of events where they've been playing MKXL at the same event that an Injustice 2 has. Perhaps the NRS community is turning a corner.
That'd be great.
And if MK11 comes out, they keep playing Injustice 2.
I hope so. Hope so. I strongly doubt it, but I would love it. For sure. So I think that's what I'm betting on. Maybe like some new official info about the characters coming in BBTAG DLC. They're all leaked, I guess, but maybe some official info.
Okay.
And then maybe some wild Smash reveal. Like there's a rumor going around that Snake is going to be in it again.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I know, it's only a rumor, but Yeah, we'll see.
I saw some other people talking. I guess there's some Tekken 7 rumors that like Anna and Marduk are going to get announced or something.
I've heard that as a rumor, but I don't have any extra info on that. I've also heard a rumor that Spawn is going to be doing something somewhere
in one of the games.
Who knows, dude?
Played by Jamie Foxx. Yeah. Because, I mean, that movie, I guess, is coming out, and I guess Jamie Foxx is going to be Spawn, so it seems like the right time for it to be a kind of, promotional tie-in thing. Although, for Smash, though, Smash is probably not going to be coming out for a while, I would imagine,
not,
right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. With an exhibition being playable to that degree, who knows, right? But, it might just be a surprise. But I was thinking, but they wouldn't put Spawn in Smash. Like that.
No,
they wouldn't be. Okay, so never mind. Forget
absolutely not.
Dude, Mighty Number 9 and Cuphead. Cuphead would be cool.
Cuphead would be cool.
But I don't know how they would make him because he just shoots in 8 directions, right? So would you just be hitting A and like aiming in all the directions and just shooting?
Well, he has different guns.
Oh, that's true. He has all
and he has like
weapons.
Different escape moves.
Yeah, that's true. So
there's other stuff you could do. But what would his other normals be? That'd be a little different. I mean, it'd be like Mega Man, maybe.
Dude, that'd be sick if they announced the Virtua Fighter 6, as Kumarsh kind of hints at. That would actually be kind of cool.
It would be cool, but
it's not happening. So
probably not. But on top of that, I'd like to have a little bit more time.
Just
put in a little bit more time. Oh, maybe they'll announce Astaroth finally for Soul Calibur. Come on!
Hey, they announced the character I wanted in there, so know. Maxi, they announced it because the very first time I saw the kata displays on the attract mode and they did the nunchucks one, I was just like, this is the best looking video game thing I've ever seen in my life. And so like I've always, if I ever played a Soul Calibur, that's the character I would learn. You know what I mean? I've never played it, but for 6 coming out, Maxi is definitely the character I will try to pick up if I try to learn the game. So I try to learn the game. So
yeah, Astaroth, please.
I mean, the crazy thing about it though is that there's just been so many just random ass fighting games coming out all over the place. Do you think that there might even just be a chance for like something completely
totally new?
Yeah, totally new by a not like an indie kind of game, but like a big company like doing something.
Oh, do you mean do I think that Fighters of the Storm is going to be announced, or that League of Fighters is going to be announced?
Well, that wasn't what I was hinting at, but I mean anything like that, I think
there's a chance,
right?
yeah.
Like maybe even I guess KI2 would be a sequel, but like what if someone was like War Gods? Midway decides to announce War Gods instead.
My reaction would be exactly the same as my reaction was when I heard that KI was coming back, which was, what are you doing? Why? The game was horrible.
Oh, man.
But they ended up doing a good job with it. So, hey,
honestly, Blizzard could have something on their hands with an Overwatch fighting game. That could actually work
Fighters of the Storm, dude.
Yeah, that actually would work out really well. So, but yeah.
Yes, it would be. I mean, they would treat it in the way that they treat their other games, I would think, which is that they patch pretty regularly.
Right, but see, I mean, that's the thing. Mendokusai is saying, like, I would love a Marvel vs. Capcom collection all the way back to Children of the Atom, so Capcom and Marvel could fix their... It's just, you can't do it because Marvel is too powerful now. Marvel is just way too powerful now. I don't think that you could do anything to fight with Marvel, because if it's not just about, hey, let's make the game out, it's, hey, we're going to put this game out, you're going to pay us a bunch of this money and all this stuff, because it's only going to be successful because it has Marvel's name on it, so you need to bow down to us and kind of stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's a tough situation, unfortunately. So.
I agree with you. Yeah, I think I'd be surprised. Yes, original KI was terrible.
Original KI and KI2 were both very terrible
games.
games.
New KI of the last several years, great game.
Yeah, great game.
Mm-hmm. Awesome game. Yeah. But I think I'd be surprised to see anything like League of Fighters or Fighters of the Storm, just because, I don't know, there's been no hints about it. I think that something like that is coming eventually. I don't know that right now is the time, but look, I mean, Radiant's been hanging out at Riot for the last 2 years now. They got to be doing something.
Was TMNT announced at EVO? No, it wasn't, right? It was announced.
TMNT was announced at E-League.
That's what it was. That's what it was, right? Yeah, but I mean, look, some of these companies have done a pretty good job hiding secrets. The TMNT was a good secret. BBTAG was a surprise, even though there was the rumors of a Ruby fighter, and then it turned out it was BBTAG, right? A lot of people have done good jobs with keeping secrets, so who knows? But like I said, the biggest problem for me is that I bet you a lot of these things will be saved for EVO.
Oh, well, I think Dude816 is probably right that if there was something like that coming from Blizzard, it'd be announced at BlizzCon.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That seems pretty likely to me.
True too.
But Riot, League of Fighters, maybe.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, I don't think it's coming now, but I do expect it to come at some
they
point.
would probably announce League of Fighters at an LCS World Championships
That could be
as well,
yeah.
too, right? So,
yeah.
Okay.
Announce it in front of world's largest stadium. Why not?
Exactly.
Instead of just tiny little E3.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Well, that's enough for E3 speculation. Well, before we move on to anything else, is there anything at E3 that you're looking forward to or hoping gets announced non-fighting game related?
Not fighting game related, huh? Here's a story about my recent non-fighting game related video game time. I accidentally played Civilization 6 for 10 hours over the course of a day and a half, and then I uninstalled it.
Just because it was like, oh crap, you can't do this again.
Can't do this.
Okay.
So, I haven't been playing anything but fighters for a little while now.
Okay.
It's totally accidental.
Dude, I get it.
For sure.
Get it.
I don't mean to. It's just like all of a sudden
10 hours have passed.
So like I played it for 6 hours one evening until the wee morning, which is really rare for me. And then I got up and I had breakfast and then I played it for like about 4 more hours and I was like deleted.
Right.
Yeah. And it wasn't like I was playing it and mid-turn I was like, I shouldn't be doing this. It was like something external happened. Like I got a call or like somebody came in or whatever. Somebody knocked on the door and I was like, wait, what?
Wait, I'm in a real civilization, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, one more turn syndrome is exactly what it is. It's killer. Dude.
So I haven't really been paying attention to other games.
Yeah, it was funny because the one more turn syndrome, I was walking through Combo Breaker and I saw Tasty Steve and Ryan Hunter playing some Guilty Gear in the hallway. And I saw them playing and Ryan Hunter won and Steve was like, one more game. And like Nakil was standing there and everybody and I was like, I looked at him and I was like, that is the number one lie told by all fighting game players. The number one lie. One more game. Yeah. One more game is the number one lie told by all fighting game players.
Even when you're at an arcade and the arcade operator comes in and he's like, hey guys, one more game. We're literally turning the power off. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh yeah, totally. Hit start.
Guaranteed, dude. So.
Nah, Gentle Snow. My girlfriend wouldn't have walked out. I don't have a girlfriend.
What?
I don't have a girlfriend anymore.
I was going to say, you're what?
That's what he said.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's right. You're what? I was like, what? Anyway, let's talk about some fighting game news that has been coming up here recently. So give some time for people in the chat to go nuts here. Let's see. I don't think people are getting it.
I know. They're
people
totally
are not getting it at all. Okay. No, come on, guys, dude. Okay, what? Anyways.
If I
high five, David.
High five. No, we can't. You can't really see it there.
Oh, you can't see it there. Okay.
So Viscant was watching CB with his girlfriend, and he sent me a text, and he was like, "Hey, my girlfriend wants to know what the deal is with the ring on your finger." So yeah, hey, I got married.
Yep, that's right.
It was a little while ago now.
Yeah, it was even before Combo Breaker. Just barely though. But yeah. That's why we kept making little jokes.
I know, nobody picked up on it.
And when you slammed your hand on the table and it made that loud noise, do it again. Like people didn't understand that one either, dude. People didn't understand
everybody,
that one. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's talk about some fighting game stuff that's coming up. Fighting game news. Did I change the topic? I did not. Look at me being all good about that and everything like that. Events, as I usually start with, Evo has announced their leaderboard. It's still the exact same thing, but it is Dragon Ball FighterZ in the lead, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition in second, third place Tekken, fourth place Smash Melee, fifth place Smash Wii U, sixth place BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, seventh place Guilty Gear, and rounding out the bottom at eighth place is Injustice 2. Now, obviously, for us, just Injustice and Guilty Gear being at the bottom makes us sad, etc., etc., but there's one thing that's kind of important is that Smash has always been like number 2 or 3. Right. And so Street Fighter V and Tekken and Dragon Ball all being above Smash is pretty significant.
For sure, I agree with you.
But there's two ways to look at it. One is that those games are just growing massively, and Dragon Ball obviously just the new kid on the block, and Tekken 7 has just been exploding. Or 2, Smash players don't want to go to EVO anymore because they cry and complain about it all the time, right? So which one do you feel like it's more likely?
Little column A, little column B. Tekken, I'm sure, has been growing a lot. Well, at every other event it has been, so I'm sure EVO is the same. That said, I think there's probably some of the second as well. Why not? I mean, I think I'd be surprised if it ended up being that Melee and Wii U had the same number of entrants this year as they do last year, and also Tekken had more than that.
Right.
Because then Tekken's having like high 2000s.
Yeah.
And that doesn't seem likely to me.
There's a Smash Con the week later or something like that.
Oh,
so
dang,
Smash
all right.
Con is a week later. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Well, there you
Bummer.
go. So there's a big Smash Con, so maybe a lot of people are saving their vacation for that instead.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that could be.
Okay. But that's the situation.
I think it is interesting that, as you say, Smash is not the second biggest, and also that Street Fighter is not the biggest. So there are definitely some changes happening afoot around.
I know one of the things that Commander Jesse has been working on is he's been helping out with the Body Count Fighting group a lot, and they've announced Body Count Fighting 6 announced for June 12th. Adds massive prize pool for title match here. And so basically they're going to have title fights for Dragon Ball with Super Noon versus the Kill Sage. They're also going to have Phenom versus Smug there as a title match for Street Fighter V, and Scar versus Theo in Injustice 2.
It's hard to get bigger headliners than those. They really did a good job with that.
That's really good headlining there.
That's awesome.
And then feature fights, they're going to have De'Aaron Fox versus Terrell Owens in Dragon Ball FighterZ.
What?
I think that's... Wait.
Like the football players?
I think it is.
What?
Wait, is that actually them?
I can't. The faces are too small for me to see.
Yeah, I know, because I mean we have a Tom Brady in our community, for Christ's sakes, right? So I'm like, but I mean from the pictures, it's dudes in jerseys.
What? Oh, it's Fox's. I don't know. I don't follow sports anymore.
Right,
okay, so we have sports people.
Is it actually sports people playing?
Dang, that's wild,
it's
man.
Definitely, that's cool. Okay.
That is, yeah.
And then in Dragon Ball,
I'm not going to want to watch that, but that's really awesome.
Dragon Ball FighterZ, they're going to have Marn versus Toki. Cloud 805 versus Hook King God is not a premiere. I mean, that's a great fight too.
Right? Wow.
Guilty versus Lord Dear God. Oh my God. Eli the Curry versus LPN. Eric C, the Fang player, versus Commander Jesse, and Prodigy versus Nubcakes in Injustice 2.
Oh, very cool. Those are really good lineups.
Yeah, that's really cool. So that's going to be streamed live on twitch.tv/BC Tuesday, June 12th. At 5 p.m. Pacific time. So
on what? And you can go there. You can actually watch it.
Oh yeah, you can go there. You can get free tickets on the BCF6 Eventbrite page. So just go to Eventbrite and just do a search for Body Count Fighting, and I'm sure you'll be able to find it.
What's the Twitch there?
Is Eric C a Monat player now?
Oh yeah. Well, no. So he plays Fang. On stream at Combo Breaker, he played Monat because he was playing against
like a Cammy or something.
Monat.
Oh,
and
okay.
Fang versus Monat's really tough, so he would rather play the mirror than his...
Okay, gotcha.
Anyway, what's the Twitch?
It was twitch.tv/BC Fighting.
Got it.
BC Fighting. So definitely check that out. That is going to be next week. It's going to be really excited. Brought to you by Machinima. So a lot of the games there, and it says community support from SRK, Tekken... I can't. The graphic is really blurry. In any case, they're doing a lot of cool things at Body Count Fighting, so
Agreed.
Good stuff to them. So there you go. So that's coming up next week. Some gaming news here. Tekken 7 received some first anniversary DLC update, so they added some new customization that you can do. And so, like, there's apparently Kuma can be turned into, like, some crazy, like, skeleton bear kind of thing and stuff like that. Story mode costume sets have been added, new auras and stuff, new Bob hairstyles and stuff like... Oh, not hairstyles for Bob, but female hairstyles, including the wave ponytail and the Bob hairstyle.
Yeah.
Okay. And new Japan stuff, so Bullet Club stuff. New Okada t-shirt for King, new Kenny Omega t-shirt for Bryan, etc., etc. So a lot of cool new things that were added to the game very recently.
All right.
Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection is not out in Japan yet. People have been wondering about that, but the announcement has now been, it is going to be coming out in fall.
What?
And it is, it was delayed in Japan. So the release date was marked to be determined. We now have a release window. It was supposed to be in the fall. We apologize for this trouble. It may have caused for those of you looking forward to it, but please wait a little longer for additional new information besides the release period, according to Tomoaki Ayano. Now, the reason why I think that this might actually be happening is because there's definitely significant differences between American and Japanese versions in some case, right? Like, I'd be curious because I was talking about this on stream last night, Balrog in Champion Edition not being able to hit crouchers with the dash punch. Yeah. I heard in the Japanese version he was.
Oh, wow.
Of Champion Edition, and it was too good, so they took it out of the American version. They couldn't figure out how to balance it. They just nerfed him to the point where he sucked.
Wow.
I cannot corroborate that because back then nobody had real information, but that's what I was told way back then. So it'd be really interesting if they changed it to like make it accurate to the Japanese versions that they're useful, etc., etc. So curious to see how that's going to go, but that's going to be, and it's also going to be called Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection International. And in fact, in the international version, if I'm not mistaken, of Super Turbo, old Zangief has the teleport SPD glitch.
Is that so?
I think so. On only the international version. On the US version, it is not there. But apparently in the international version, it's still there with old Zangief. So things like that might be changed between the versions. So maybe they're actually trying to do that. So, other news, Soul Calibur, as I mentioned, they just announced Maxi is returning to it. Looks like Elvis again, which is what he always looks. But apparently he's back into the fold with his signature nunchucks, and so I will be excited to see that. I haven't seen the trailer yet. I'll probably go and try to do that when I have an opportunity to.
I mean, he's up against like an 8-foot-tall guy wielding a giant axe. He brings nunchucks.
Yeah, he would get his ass kicked.
Nunchucks?
For sure, yeah. I mean, if it was Bruce Lee with nunchucks, dude, I mean, come on, dude, come on. I mean, they were designed to smash rice, right? I mean, that's exactly what they were.
Is that really?
Yeah, basically you like smash the rice with them back and forth, but they were developed in a monk temple where weapons were not allowed, so people learned how to use those things as weapons to, That's a real story? I think so. That's what I've been told.
Man.
That's what I've been told. I could be making up fake lore, repeating fake lore, but that is definitely what I've heard.
Cool, dude.
So, yeah. And I was told this by a friend who is really into martial arts and Bruce Lee and has nunchucks, right? So, and has nunchucks. Let's see. Fighting EX Layer has gotten an official release date now.
Oh, I missed this.
On June 28th, the PlayStation 4 Fighting EX Layer will be released. And so we will finally get that. And basically, for $40, you will get 12 characters and 5 Goki decks. So you'll have 5 of the crazy Goki system decks that they have. But if you pay for the full $60, you'll be getting those same 12 characters plus Hokuto, DLC character Hokuto, and 15 Gogi decks.
Okay.
So there you go. So I'm sorry, it's Gogi decks, not Goki decks.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's spelled wrong in one place like that. So interesting, $20 more for one character and 10 decks. Seems kind of strange, but that's the way that the pricing is. But I mean, this game is designed to just be fun, have a good time, and with the really cool characters again. So really cool. It's designed to be kind of broken fun, and I'm sure people will take that and try to make that as much of a real competitive fighting game as possible, as they have done with like Sailor Moon and all these other things. And as like Korea still plays Champion Edition for some strange reason. It's just the weirdest thing. I don't understand that at all.
Definitely weird.
Okay. See if I have some more game announcements here for you guys.
In trying the demo or the beta or whatever they called it, I thought it was a lot of fun.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't seem balanced at all, but it does seem a lot of fun.
Right. We mentioned this already. The new crossover costume is the Arthur costume for Ryu, where he has the armor and he has the big old beard. And apparently, if you put the code in, then he basically fights in the underwear instead. And I think that's hilarious. So good job to them with that.
Agreed.
So that's the new crossover costume. Let's see how long this lasts, see if it's done or not. Act before June 5th. Okay. If that means it's over, it might be over today, or it's still, there's like 2 hours left of it. But there was a sale on PlayStation, if you were a PlayStation Plus member, and they had a bunch of games for sale there. I'm not going to mention them all in case the sale is over already today, because that would make people mad. But check it out. Check it out if it is still going today. If anybody in the chat can confirm to me it's still going right now. Like if you look up Art of Fighting Anthology and it's 750 right now, that means it's still going. I don't know. MVCI was definitely on sale.
Yeah, MVCI, King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match.
Arcade Edition was on sale.
Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition and Under Night and Birth EXE latest.
That was probably the sale that we mentioned at Combo Breaker, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So there you go.
Okay.
Some community stuff. The third part of the Street Fighter 30th retrospective came out, going over the Street Fighter 5-3 series, narrated by yours truly.
Yeah.
And so that one came out there. And actually, I felt like I did the best narration job on this one.
I thought it was really cool, dude. Yeah.
I thought it went really well.
I thought it was really good.
And honestly, one of and to be honest with you, like there was like a lot of comments about how the characters are really weird and stuff like that. I didn't write all that stuff, despite like I mean, like I had say in the in what was to be narrated, but that was already in there.
Okay.
So I it wasn't me who put that in there. But I mean, one of the things. The sale has ended. Okay, cool. So one of the things that I want to mention is I do actually, now it's kind of secret. I do secretly like Third Strike a lot. But the problem with it is, like I said, one person kind of made me mad about it, and two, I still fundamentally dislike parries. Like that's the thing. So.
Pretty important part of the game.
Outside of that, like it used to be one of my favorite games to watch. I used to download a bunch of Third Strike videos from Japan because it was super entertaining and stuff like that. And I do like the game, and I know surprisingly a lot about the game.
That's true. I can vouch for that.
I don't actually know enough about it to be like the supreme expert, but I know a lot about the game. So it's not like I hate the game, I never play it, blah 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 blah, and all that stuff. Like I actually know quite a bit about the game. So, but the retrospective was cool. They also released the 3 parts of this documentary that they did, where they just talked to people about all the different stuff, and I know like they interviewed me for that, and I've been talking. Matt D was in there, Say Jam's in there a little bit. I mean, there's a little bit of frustration. I saw, Gerald was really upset about a lot of things, and I saw. I think it was like somebody else. Like, was it Jason Wilson or was it like somebody else? But like. They talk about a lot of the old school stuff, and like they talk to Punk's opinion about it and all this stuff. Literally did not go and look for Tomo or Mike Watson or even Nuki in Japan. Like they didn't talk to like a lot of the really old school people to talk about the old school stuff, and it was kind of unfortunate.
That is kind of unfortunate.
Missed opportunity, to be honest with you.
I agree with you on that.
I really felt like they only interviewed people like at Evo in Japan, and like they probably just didn't have the ability to do the hunt for
But like
Tomo
even still, maybe like Ricky and not Punk.
Right, exactly. But it was it's a cool. Oh, it was Mike Watson who was complaining about it. That's right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but it's still an interesting documentary. There's still a lot of cool things going on in there, and all the OG people were just happy that I was actually able to talk about a lot of the old school stuff that was going on in there. So you can find that on YouTube as well. So
on what, on Street Fighter YouTube?
Yeah, it's on Street Fighter YouTube. Like I didn't even know it had been released. I didn't even remember. Someone was like, "Good job in that documentary," whatever, and I was like, "What documentary?"
I've been there.
But then like they interviewed us at the last Evo, and even in the 30th anniversary trailer with that comment where I'm like, the quarters were lined up, you just didn't play against people, came from that interview.
I see.
And so I actually repeat it in that documentary as well. So there you go.
Alrighty.
But both of that stuff is out. Other community things, Born Free has done a lot more interviews at Combo Breaker. He has one where he's talking to JB. And then he also had a really long interview, because it's part 1, but he has a really long interview session with Tokido.
Yeah, very interesting too.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, so you actually got the chance to see it then.
I recommend it. Yeah, I mean, not just about the game itself. In fact, that might not even been the majority of it, but like mindset and history and stuff like that. Very, very interesting.
Okay, cool. Core A Gaming also has a new video as well that talks about arcade sticks.
Okay.
I guess it's making a case for arcade sticks as opposed to the pad players, which I think is funny because I know there's a lot of people who want to go to pad now because pads are kind of stronger in a lot of ways these days.
He focuses on how they're not just on their performance, but on how customizable they are, which is nice.
Yeah.
It is nice.
I mean, I still am flabbergasted people haven't customized sticks for Tekken. Like,
what do you mean?
Just so you could do the instant while runnings and electric god fists for free, basically.
Directions on the
I
right
still
side.
don't know why they haven't done that. Because if I had a button that was left and right, all you have to do is go forward, tap, and then tap down, and then hit 2 buttons at the same time. That's 100% electric. Because to do the electric is you have to hit the button the very first frame you get to the diagonal.
Well, I guess with the hitbox, you could do it. You could sort of breach the gap.
Yeah. You would have to breach the gap that way. And then also instant while running, if you blink it, you get instant while running almost 97% of the time, 95% of the time or something like that. So the hitbox is a little harder on that one because even coordinating between 2 hands is a little bit harder. But if you can do it on 1 hand, then all of a sudden it becomes
makes sense, yeah.
Stuff like that. So.
Well, I like sticks too, but I think in retrospect that I think pads are probably better.
One of the biggest advantage of pads right now, I mean, obviously one of the disadvantages is the crazy Bluetooth connection.
You don't have to have a wireless pad.
You don't have to have a wireless pad, but then also is that the motions that you do are less body, so when you're playing side by side, you give away less.
Yeah.
Joysticks actually, I mean, there's a reason why in the old school arcade days we had to learn how to play fighting games by doing body fakes. We actually did body fakes.
Of course we did body fakes.
And it was funny because my best friend noticed that, when he watched me at Alpha 3 tournaments, he could always tell when I was going to fake an uppercut because I would...
More extreme.
I would get extreme, but then when I tried to uppercut, I would try not to move as much as possible,
I did the same.
And stuff like that. So, but that's the way it worked. You had to do body fakes back then. That's how Vi's fake cross-up Tatsu in Street Fighter 4 worked so well. Yeah.
Yeah. So by saying that I think pads are better, I don't mean necessarily that the inputs themselves are better, but it's just really nice to have something that costs like $30 to $50 that is basically the same every time. That is most hand types can handle it well. As to say, even if you have the kind of issues that I do, it's still fine. So I think that overall they're probably better, and I like customizing. I mean, I make my own joysticks, so I enjoy that a lot. But I think that if I could go back in time and just make myself play pad from the very start, even in the arcade, which is of course is impossible, but if I could do that, I probably would have done that.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Last thing is that Hungry Box, Juan I never know how to pronounce his last name.
I've never heard it said.
Debiedma?
Yeah, that's what my guess is Debiedma.
But I guess he joins Eon. So Eon is the organization. Where's this? Is there a description of what?
Yeah, go back up. Yeah, there was a little bit more.
Okay,
right there. The producers of the GCHD GameCube HDMI adapter.
Ah, there you go. Okay. But he's joined them officially as a brand ambassador and EA Sports liaison. So there you go.
Cool.
But I mean, that kind of reminds me when Mewtwo King is now the brand ambassador for Nintendo.
Right.
A brand
ambassador. Yeah.
But that's all I have for fighting game news and topics and stuff like that.
You bringing up body fakes reminds me the other day when we were playing Tecmo Bowl. So we went to this bar that had a Super Nintendo and a Genesis and stuff, which was pretty sick, actually.
Nintendo anniversary
regular Nintendo, not Super NES. And it had Tecmo Bowl on it. Neither of us had ever played it, so we were playing it. But what makes me think about it is that I was sitting back kind of relaxing in the chair, and you were up forward, and I could totally see which play you were going to set. You stopped doing it, but for the first 5 plays, I got a touchdown really fast at the start. Because I could just see where you were.
That's so
I was
funny.
okay, I'll go that one, and then you stop doing it. So obviously
I didn't even know. I didn't even notice. That was really that was like the Alex Myers Oil King thing. But dude, even while we were playing, I started doing all these meta strategies and stuff like that. I would actually try to run my plays based on who you were controlling. And I noticed towards the end we started like trying to switch at the last second, and like
that seems like the game, right?
Yeah, like we were actually doing, and it was funny to me. Like I thought that was hilarious we were actually like already that fast. We were trying to like pick up on these little things like that. It was really cool.
It was really fun. It was fun. It doesn't seem like a great game, but it seemed like it's probably a great game for the time.
Well, so Tecmo Bowl apparently was not as good as Tecmo Super Bowl. Apparently Tecmo Super Bowl is where it was at. Okay. Except I don't remember which team he was on. It might have been the Raiders, but apparently like they base it off of the real life players. And there's this video that shows it. But like whatever team Bo Diddley was on, or no, not Bo Diddley, but that was his nickname, right? I don't know. But whatever team he was on, you know, Bo knows football, Bo knows baseball. That guy,
Jackson.
Yeah, Bo Jackson. Yeah, whenever he was on, right? I don't even remember. He was in whatever team he was on.
Bo Diddley. That was something.
No, that was his like character nickname.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Like, you know, something like that, I think. But in any case, he apparently goes so fast that like no one can catch him. Oh, yeah. And so if you found him, like there's a video up there of like some guy using him, and like the computer's chasing him, and he runs all the way to the end zone where he's about to score the touchdown, then runs all the way back to the other one, and then runs all the way back to the front, like, and he's just like taunting the whole entire time. Yeah, okay. It's like, okay, Bo Diddley was in the Nike ad with Bo Jackson. That's what it was. Thank you, Case.
Oh, he's a blues musician apparently.
Oh, Bo Diddley is a musician? Oh, well then Case Money is wrong too then. Okay.
No. Oh, what? No, not necessarily. He was in the Nike ad.
Oh, Bo Diddley was in the Nike ad with Bo Jackson. I see. Got it. Okay. There you go.
Somebody asked me where I got the sweater that has the inputs on it. It's from Broken Tier.
Yes, Broken Tier. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you noticed, but when we were going onto a plane recently, as I was walking onto this plane with the inputs on my chest, this lady was like, "Hey," like very suspiciously, like, "Hey, what are those? What's on your shirt?"
Oh, really?
Like,
was it suspicious?
Like, yeah, like worried, like, what's going on? What's going on there? Dang. You know? And I was just like, it's for a video game, and she was like, okay, all right. She was really concerned.
Yeah, like you were a cult member?
I don't know. That's my guess.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I guess you could also freak out people if you want.
That's terrifying, dude. What's funny about that too is that like the whole point you're supposed to wear that shirt is so that it's not obviously a video game
thing.
And it's so not obviously a video game thing that it got people scared.
Yeah.
Oh
I should have asked why. Yeah, but I didn't think about it at the time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anything else that you want to talk about?
I had to buy a new TV. Thank you to displaylag.com for my recommendations.
Yes.
Previous TV was like 6 or 7 years old, and the sound stopped working. It never had great audio, but it stopped working entirely. So.
I mean, does it have an audio output? You know what I mean?
I don't think it did. It's very minimal.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking if it had that kind of thing, you could just hook up speakers.
Honestly, I didn't think about it at the time, but it's so minimal that I think I'd be surprised.
Right.
There's only one HDMI output.
Anyway, and plus the other thing too, getting a new TV right now is not a bad thing, right? So,
dude, it was maybe $250 for
exactly. It's like
a 45-inch or something.
Right.
It was like I was like, what?
I mean, this TV.
It was like so cheap that we looked at it, like looked into the brand. It was like, are we just going to get taken advantage of? But apparently, it's good.
This TV in front of us right now was pretty cheap too, and this one was recommended by a Forwood as well. Okay. From DisplayLag, he was like, yeah, just get this one because he found the link and it was really cheap. It's surprising. It's a 40-inch TV. It has really good input. The DisplayLag. Yeah. Features so I can play on it. So
yeah, I definitely should have checked that it has an audio output. But I think I'd be surprised.
Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, I should probably go upstairs and grab myself a Blaze Blue Cross Tag battle so that I can actually.
Let me know if you want to get
some games in.
Walled Tagered.
Oh, dude, that'd be scary.
I'm just going to be jumping at you.
Oh, yeah, actually, that's probably something interesting to talk about, and I don't have any backstory on it. Okay. But Alucard is apparently retired from fighting games.
Oh, I think it's just SF5.
No, he's like selling everything. He's like selling all his joysticks.
That is.
He's selling his monitor, his games monitor, and all this stuff like that. He is just like trying to like I don't know. Like, he's like quitting cold turkey. I don't know any story behind it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sad to hear that. That's too bad.
Yeah, so I've heard about some of that. I don't know what the story is about that. He's even was like, hey, does anybody know if there's any jobs out there for this kind of position and stuff like that? So it seems like he's just...
trying to get a job and everything.
Yeah, he's just going out of it.
Well, okay, that's a bummer, man. So, I didn't know about that.
But yeah, I don't know the story behind it.
I thought it was just SFI. But yeah, all right, dude. I'll ask him.
Yeah, I see some people 10 hours straight playing Street Fighter 5. So we uninstalled it. Oh, man. Yeah. Not Alucard from New York. Alucard from the Midwest who moved to New York and now is back in the Midwest.
Right.
So from Detroit. Alucard from Detroit. Because there is an Alucard in New York who plays Smash Brothers, right?
And Marvel.
And Marvel, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on necessarily, but that's what I've heard. That's what I heard, so.
I got the 6 set up with Wald, right? So, Wald has the Meat Squasher super still. So he puts you all the way into the corner for every time, right? And then after that, you do instant air jump L, or A, I guess, and then call Tager assist, and it hits instant overhead. And you got the Tager assist to combo, so then you land and you get the full combo out of it into like 7K. Or you can just do crouching L, and then you can actually do crouching A, crouching C, which are both lows into the 7K damage combo.
Right. Yeah.
Or you can just do command grab.
So
it's crazy.
I mean, I know a lot of people have been talking about the game as like a potentially 3 out of 5 game and stuff because it is so dangerous, right?
Maybe.
So
it is pretty dangerous.
We'll see.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's pretty crazy. I just feel like having a character with all of his tools, I feel like he can't be bad. He seems just like a really good character. Yeah. So, anyway, a lot of fun. I guess that's it for tonight. So, oh man, we totally forgot to talk about the summit, which is this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
The Dragon Ball FighterZ Summit is this weekend. Make sure that you check it out. It will be June 8th to June 10th. I'm really looking forward to watching it. I think it will come down to Sonic Fox or Goichi.
Of course. But it would be cool to have it.
It'd be great to see an upset.
Like, what if Hook Gang God showed up and was like, I've been learning another character all along, and then removes Piccolo from his team.
Amazing, dude. That'd be so sick. I really expect it to be Goichi and Fox, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Did you see the official art that's out for it?
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, someone drew all the characters, but then they made them with the faces of the players and stuff like that. It was really cool stuff. So there you go.
What stream is it going to be on?
It's going to be on the Summit stream, right? Okay. And Summit of Power, right?
Well, is that what the stream is called?
I'm just trying to... It's called the Summit of Power.
The name of the tournament, yeah.
Well, apparently there is a Twitch called Beyond the Summit.
Okay, Beyond the Summit.
I don't know if that's actually...
just click on it, see what it does.
Let's see. Summit of Power here. Do they have the stream information on smash.gg? It might just be Beyond the Summit.
Well, go click on Beyond the Summit and see like what's in their history.
Okay. Video.
Oh, it's everything. Of course, it's not.
Oh yeah, they're doing everything in here. Okay.
Is this actually just? This is Dota?
I guess so.
I don't think this is what we want.
Okay.
Or is it? This is what we want. Beyond
some people are saying it is just going to be Beyond the Summit.
That makes sense.
So there you go. Okay. But in any case, it's going to be easy to find.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm sure if you follow Ace King Offsuit, he'll probably tweet out the schedule at some point in time with the link information and all that stuff like that. So definitely going to be some fun Dragon Ball stuff coming up this weekend. So keep an eye on that. Okay.
All right. I'll probably never load up Dragon Ball FighterZ again.
Really?
Wow.
Too many other games, right? That's just really what it comes down to. There's too many other games.
I didn't even download Zamasu and the other guy.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded them yet either. I'm going to go check them out when I get a chance, but just now 30th anniversary is taking up all my time.
I'm basically taking myself out of commentary for that game.
I mean,
if there's I know, but so if there's an event like at the Dominican tournament where we did commentary,
right? Yeah.
Maybe I can still do that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I'll never go out for it.
Yeah,
because I know that my passion is not in it, and I don't want that to be something that ruins the stream for anybody watching.
Yeah, it is going to be twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so there you go. Yeah.
I think it's a good game. I just think that it occupies this weird space between the kind of things that I want in a fighting game. It's a mix of speed and slowness in just the places that I don't like it. Like it's just
right.
I feel like it lasts forever. Games just take forever sometimes, and I feel like the decision making is not fast, with the exception of when it's impossible to react.
Right. I mean, the
So
crazy.
I don't know. There's just it's. I think it's a good game. It's just not the kind of game that I want.
I wonder what Evo's gonna do, because they're gonna have to schedule a 4-hour block for the game.
Oh yeah.
Like
Top 8.
Yeah, top 8.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to schedule a 4-hour block for the game. So game takes a long time. It really, really, really does. So I still enjoy the game. I like it, but it's like I said. I haven't been able to concentrate on much. Like I said, I'm trying to learn Tekken a little bit more. I want to get back into Guilty Gear.
Gotta have priorities
as well.
You know,
so
too many good games out. So
okay.
All right.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks. Remember, I hope you guys enjoyed that little new segment that we did, where we talked about all the like little random topics like that. If you guys have any suggestions for the name of that segment, please tweet us at UltraChenTV and jchensor and UltraDavid, and also tweet us some topics that you'd like us to talk about, so that we actually have all these different things that we can debate about and argue about. And
sounds great.
Tomo should not be one of them. So because that will
no need.
Exactly. So okay. All right.
It is. It's long for sure. It goes long.
Yeah.
So it takes a while. Ooh, I like 5-5 matchup.